What's going on, beautiful people? This is a very special video. You're not going to want to miss a second. So please refrain from tapping on the timestamps because we're going to give a lot of interesting, illuminating information. Of course, as you can see, this is about the new moon in Pisces. And opposition, this is probably the most magical new moon of the year. Let me properly introduce myself. It's your host with the most, Mr. Meyer with the fire. I'm here with my brother, Christian
Christian.
Dixon.
Yes, Mr. Aquarius the air.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Fellow
and I,
astrologer, among many other things.
yes, many other things. And tarot reader. I do vocal Reiki with my voice, and all of my offerings are at my website, christianjamesdixie.com.
Yes, sir. And
Slay.
I'm here with my sister Eva.
What up? What up? I'm going to be doing the cardinal signs for you today because I'm a cardinal girl and I'm excited to be here. I'm a Reiki healer, a new Akashic Records reader. And if you want to book with me, my website is snipfeed.co/mystic spice because I got the spice.
We've got a very special guest today. If you guys have been watching this series for a minute, me and Christian usually go back and forth for the zodiac signs, but this is actually very perfect. You got the fire family here. And you may already know Mr. Meyer with the fire is a Virgo rising. So you got Christian, who's a Leo rising, and Eva is a Aries rising. So we're going to split up the signs as we go through the breakdown. If you guys haven't been able to recognize yet, I'm an astrologer, I'm an occultist, a tarot reader, a mentor, a coach, an author, among many other things. MarkDavidMeyer.com. All of our offerings will be listed in the description below. Please join our community. We have a lot of fun. We would love to see you and have you be a part of it. So, without further ado, let's talk about the new moon energy. And then we're going to talk about the sign of Pisces. We're going to talk about what this one is going to bring specifically. And then we're going to break down this new moon sign by sign, going house through house, looking at everybody's specific natal charts. And if this sounds like jargon to you at any point, or you need extra clarity, or maybe want somebody to, hold your hand and walk you through the astrology, that's what those offerings are down below for. Whether you want me to do a personal chart breakdown for you, or want Christian to look through the month ahead, or maybe Eva would read some cards for you or send you some Reiki. It's your one-stop shop for spiritual gifts. So let's get it. The new moon. Take it away, guys. What is it? What is the new moon? Let me know something, anything.
Yeah. Uh, I'll go first, actually. So,
Beautiful. I love it.
so the this new moon in Pisces it's pretty magical, to say the
What is
least.
the new moon? That's what I want to know.
Well,
What
the
is
new
the new
moon.
moon?
Well,
What is the moon after all?
this is the moon. Well, this is a major moon cycle. Goes through each sign every roughly 2.5-ish days, and there's two major cycles. This new moon, which new moon usually represents new beginnings, and full moons usually signify a completion or endings of that sort. And in the context of this new moon, you can't really see shit. You can't see the moon. It's been eaten.
Exactly
It's
right.
been gobbled up. It's been gobbled up by somebody.
By me. You said somebody ate it. It was me. I'm sorry. I'll just be honest. I was hungry.
Somebody ate it. Yeah, he mistook the moon for an empanada.
Yeah. It looked like chicken and I was hungry.
So funny.
Yeah.
So like the king was saying, it is a cycle. So this actually takes around 28 and a half days for the new moon to start, and then for us to go all the way through the cycle, end up back at new. So within 2 weeks, we'll go to the full moon, and the next 2 weeks will be spent waning into the next new moon. So I don't know if you guys have noticed something kind of crazy going on in the universe, but there is a cycle, there's a pattern to the moon's energy. And we'll talk about this later, but this moon cycle, the Pisces moon, is actually ruled by the card, the moon. So it's very meta, it's very self-referential, but essentially we start with this new moon in Pisces on the 27th of March, and then on the 13th, no, the 14th of, okay, I misspoke twice. Let me restart, guys. On the 27th of February, we're going to have this new moon in Pisces. And then in March, the 14th of March, we're going to have the full moon in Virgo. And that is usually how this happens every single year, unless we get a freaky blue moon. Okay. So I like to say the moon is like a cup, it's empty at new, we wax and fill it up. It's filled to the brim around full, and then we're going to release in the waning cycle. So, do you have anything else to add, Eva? Because I could go on and on.
I do. So, I mean, Pisces is a water sign, right, guys? So it's a spiritual sign, typically in the chart before, you change it based on your rising sign. It is in the 12th house of spirituality. And it being a water sign, I feel like this is a fun sign for the moon to be in. The moon likes to be in Cancer. It's one of its homes as well as Taurus. But that being said, it's watery, it's intuitive, it's very spiritual, it's creative. So, I feel like this is going to be lots of inspired creativity and inspired action based on creativity and emotions in a spirituality sense, in my opinion.
Oh, amen.
Um,
I see it.
yeah.
Yeah. And I want to
And
add on top of that, and we can go back and forth, but what I think is really beautiful is that this new moon energy, like Christian was saying, it is gonna take about 2 to 3 days for us to go through the new moon phase. But this energy is going to follow us for the rest of our lives, technically. It's a ripple in the pond. It's action, and therefore there's going to be reaction. So, based on the lunar cycle we were talking about, it's going to take about a year until we get the next new moon in Pisces. So, that's worth noting is that you can look at this, as far as the day that it happens, the energy carrying out throughout the month, but also for the entire year. So, what I want to say now is it's going to be really wise if you took a piece of paper or the notes app in your phone and wrote down some goals for this new moon. And this is a powerful ritual you can do every lunar cycle. It doesn't really cost anything. And my best advice is to create 3 goals. And this is kind of interesting, the three of us here. There's a magical quality to the number 3. Okay. So my best advice is 3 sets of goals and 3 goals each. So 3 monthly goals. And the reason I say 3, among many other reasons, is if you make a list that's super long, you may be kind of disorganized or drifting. We want to be driven, not drifting. So if you could only set 3, you have a limit. You have to pick the 3 most important goals. So my challenge for everybody listening to this video is to write down new moon goals, which would be from this new moon in Pisces to the new moon in Aries. Do one of you guys want to tell me when that is, or am I going to beat you to it?
Uh,
I think I'm going to do it.
I think
Um,
it's
the 29th of March, is that what it is?
yeah.
So you could do the 29th of March or make it 30 days, whatever you want to do, but I would strongly recommend a 3 goal list for 1 month, 3 goals within the next 6 months, and then 3 goals within the next year. What would you like your life to be like within a year, half a year, and 1 month from now? Because you have to have a target or you're not going to shoot. And like Eva was saying, this is a very mystical, powerful new moon. We're going to talk about the sign of Pisces for a second before we start really getting into the chart and talking about the archetypes and the symbols that this one's going to carry, because this one is a pretty interesting new moon. And we are going to have to talk about the transits that are occurring at this time because they are going to affect us. And it's really wise that you actually have a copy of your own natal chart. Because we're all going to walk through these after we talk about Pisces. But just understand everybody has different planets in Pisces. Everybody has a different Jupiter placement. Everybody has a different Neptune, and so on and so forth. So therefore, this is going to be as detailed as we possibly can get, but it's so important you know what makes you unique because nobody's the same. So that's worth noting. So, ooh, you see the lights? Yeah, I think that was a synchronicity. Anything can be one if you're looking for it. But anyway, this is a new beginning in the sign of dreams. Neptune rules the sign of Pisces, so does Jupiter. This is the final sign, it's number 12. So this carries a little bit of the energy of everything prior. So this is the most deep, empathetic, spiritual, and mystical sign. And this is all about faith, belief, and imagination. So for want of not sounding naive or vaguely optimistic, I just want to reassure everybody listening to this that you can manifest your dreams. Everything in front of you was once just an idea. your computer, your phone, your shoes, all of it. It was an idea in the mind before it became real. The fastest way to kill a big idea is to introduce it to a small mind. So sometimes you have to keep silent about your dreams unless somebody around you can directly help you to manifest it. If you don't know who to tell about your dreams, you may want to keep it silent. But if you're looking for your tribe just found it. So make sure you guys join our Discord server and community because we like to watch each other grow and glow. So what do you guys think about this Pisces new moon and Pisces energy? Because that's a lot to take in. I feel like I've been yapping for a second. Do you have any other ideas? Should I put up the chart or?
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think we should pull up the chart. But also I want to say it's like, Pisces is so spiritual. So it's thinking about how, spirituality hits your chart and how you feel about, Pisces and what house it's in. But also, I just imagine that people might be feeling like a lot of emotions, but it's like, gentle emotions, like creative emotions with Pisces. And so if you have these like dreams and goals that, really like hit your heart chakra or make you feel certain emotions that, like you want to achieve, um, you know, write those goals, get excited about those goals, get excited about your spiritual goals and things like that, about your dreams and aspirations and like creativity in that regard.
I love that. I'm so glad you said that. Because the thing that's coming through my mind right now is what is your why? Pisces, like we said, is one of the hardest signs to figure out because it is so deep and so mystical. But I think what helps understand this is polarity, where Pisces is always going to be opposite Virgo in the wheel. And Virgo is earth, Pisces is water. Virgo is the sixth sign. It deals with focus, the schedule, the routine, what we're doing. And Pisces is that big picture. It's why are we doing this? For what cause? For what reason? And it's worth mentioning again, Jupiter is the ruling planet of Pisces, and Jupiter is all about meaning. And with this being universal, everybody has a different relationship with the Pisces energy. And this could be, like living the dream. It could be your manifested desired reality, or this could be, the darkest, most confusing parts of life. I don't know how this is hitting everybody, but I will just say we're all a wave in the ocean. And while this is the new moon, I mean, on top of us having Mars and Cancer ruled by the moon, it's very important that everybody gets a connection with their own moon sign and their own sun sign because, like Christian was saying, this is the beginning of the lunar cycle. And if you look in this chart where the diamond is, you'll see this is literally when the sun and the moon connect in the solar system. And that's why you're not going to see the moon in the sky because it's not reflecting light towards the planet. The moon is actually blocking it and it's reflecting the light the other way. So that's really interesting. And I'm going to flip forward just for a second so you can see the next lunation 2 weeks from this is that full moon in Virgo. And there you'll see the moon in Virgo at about 23 and the sun in Pisces at about 23. And they're completely opposite. So therefore, you have the moon reflecting the light of the sun back towards the earth in the middle. So hopefully the astronomy is pretty clear, but I'm going to reiterate the metaphysics. It's really, really important that you get in touch with yourself because you are a solar system, as above, so below, so within, and so without. Some would say that the moon is your heart chakra and the sun is your solar plexus. And this brings us an opportunity to align our will, this new moon. Our inner and outer worlds can come together and we can create harmony within ourselves. So it's very interesting because this is the sun, the solar driving force going towards the moon, the maternal, feminine, receptive energy. So it does call us to go within. And one thing I've seen is that a lot of times it's not uncommon for people to be kind of low energy towards the new moon. And that's totally fine. But one of the best things you can do is, again, set a direction, make a choice, decide where you want to go. Just make that decision, write it down, speak it into existence, ask the universe for support. If you want to do any elaborate rituals or raise energy, that's even better. But at the end of the day, a seed is planted during the new moon. So the question is, what are you planting? And even if you decide not to plant, the universe is going to take the energy from this time space and let it flourish for the rest of the cycle, for the rest of your life, technically. And I know that sounds very dramatic And that's the Leo in me. I don't want you to freak out if you don't do a moon ritual, but it's just really powerful to live your life with the moon because this is the cycles of nature. And the benefit of that is doing less while we get to have more. So that's the utility. Okay. But anyway, let's pull this chart back up. I just want everybody to see that this is internal and speculative, even though it's operative and external. So this moon is square to Jupiter. And that's really the major aspect. What do you think, Christian, about this moon square Jupiter?
Yeah. Um, it's interesting because traditionally Pisces is the feminine expression of Jupiter. So it's very interesting that, this moon happens to be squaring Jupiter. So not only do you want to check where Pisces is in your chart, you also want to check where Jupiter is transiting in your chart as well because of the square, the aspect that the moon is making to Jupiter.
Yeah.
Um, and this is like really the biggest message that I'm getting from new moon square Jupiter is really to just protect your dreams, protect your blessings, right? Because it's so I was literally getting this message, early this morning, like from spirit. I was like, "Oh my God." Like because it's just so important to protect your dreams and also protect your blessings because Jupiter is all about, blessings too. And it's very easy, it can be very easy to want to get into self-sabotage tendencies to, you know, um, really like give away your blessings, right? To people who didn't really work for it. Like you were the one that worked for these blessings, not them. So it's really, Spirit was kind of telling me this morning, like, stop using your blessings as an excuse to give handouts to people. Like, stop letting your emotions get in the way, the moon. um, and yeah, and this new moon is happening at 9 degrees, which is in degree theory, that's a Sagittarius degree. So that's even more of,
Or Jupiter.
yeah, Jupiter degree. Yeah.
The
Mhm.
square is a very hard angle. It's kind of extreme too. So,
Yeah.
Pisces is our dream. We are going to need to protect it. I think more than anything, what I'm seeing is that this Jupiter energy over this next month to even, the rest of the year as this reverberates out is really going to make us want to break free. Jupiter is very big and vast, and it doesn't really care much for limits either. So I see that there's going to be a true calling to expand and to grow and maybe to travel and break free from anything that holds you back. And, while that's beautiful and motivating, I think there is going to need to be some discipline employed in some business sense to make sure this makes sense and that we aren't going beyond our, limits, so to speak. And we can reference this new moon again. This is like the sun square Jupiter and the moon square Jupiter. It's technically both. So I kind of feel that this is like Christmas, or it's like, you know, your first day of kindergarten when the teachers are like, you can do anything you put your mind to. And that makes sense. Like that's reasonable, but at the end of the day, you can't be everything you want to be, but you can be everything you are. So that's pretty cool. So the Sun square Jupiter, this is about, embracing your character development, answering the call for greatness, being a better person. And the Moon squaring Jupiter, to me, this really talks about opening up that heart, expanding your feeling nature, trusting your intuition. And, Pisces again is so internal. We have to listen to the road within. And I think comparison being the thief of joy is so relevant here, where, ooh, we got a special guest. Comparison being the thief of joy is really important because, you could spend your whole life chasing a dream and then wake up and realize, damn, that was someone else's dream. Let's let the queen in. Oh, this is a lucky surprise.
Rachel.
Rachel, Rachel, Rachel. You're
Hey
live
guys,
on
what's
video,
happening?
queen. We
What?
you're live in the video. We're in the we're
Oh
actually
my God.
yes. So
Yeah.
this was a beautiful surprise. I'm so glad you popped in,
No.
man. Turn your camera on. And
Turn my camera on.
yes, so we are doing
Oh my
the
God. I didn't think I would be in it. I thought this was like the aftermath.
nope. We're doing
You're
it
in it,
live.
queen.
So actually that's literally perfect. We're about to start the sign by sign breakdown. We were just talking about the new moon in Pisces and how this energy is going to follow us over the month and the year, and it's square to Jupiter. What do you think about that?
Moon square Jupiter. I like a mutable sign square because I feel like it is uncomfy and it feels a bit like bringing order to chaos. But with Moon square Jupiter, I think it is about, let me just have a moment.
Let your
Where's the
Pisces
sun?
speak to
Because
us.
it's square the sun as well, isn't it? Because
Exactly
it's the
right.
eclipse. I
Exactly.
think it is about, I think, okay, this is what I think. I think hope is not a strategy. That's the vibe I get from this.
Ooh, that's cold. I like
Yeah.
that. Hope is definitely not a strategy. Hey, that's deep. I hope everybody back home got that because you can wish in one hand, you can shit in the other hand, and you need to wash your dirty hands, man. That's disgusting. So we're gonna need a plan to get there, man. And while that might burst someone's bubble, I'll dial it back and say, it may not be as important right this second that you have the plan all mapped out because we are in this new moon phase. So I think the key thing is to decide where you are going. And then, as we get to this quarter moon phase, this full moon phase, I'm so glad Rachel brought this up because especially when we get to the full moon in Virgo 2 weeks after this lunation, it's going to really ask, what's your schedule like? What's your day to day? What are you doing to make this a reality? It's like, you say you want to be successful, but the moment you wake up, you push the PlayStation, you go beep, and then you just say, oh, forget about my dreams, man. I'm going to play Rocket. That's not it, fam. If you got an empire to build, you got a mission, you can't be wasting time, your most precious resource. So, and speaking of time, Saturn is in Pisces at this moment. So I'm gonna break down the rest of this stellium, and then we can talk about the rest of the transits hitting, and then we can jump into signs. So you have the sun and the moon, you have Mercury and Saturn and the North Node and Neptune. So this is a Pisces stellium in the sky right now, guys. So much Pisces. And what that would suggest is that, this is an abundance of emotion and you're gonna have to learn how to deal with it and go with the flow. Cry me a river if you got to, basically, and just don't let your dreams just be dreams. And I will say, like, not everybody is cut out for the entrepreneurial path. And that's not an insult. It's just saying some people are actually way better fit finding someone else's dream that they love and then being a part of it. So that goes back in hand with what I was saying about, don't compare yourself to others and do what your soul asks you to do. If you listen to the call of the higher self, everything else is going to be amazing. Like in a hierarchy structure, if you report up to your boss, so to speak, like everything below will be fine. Okay. But Saturn's going to ask you to be realistic, have boundaries, and not pour out your whole heart and soul, like Christian was saying, to make sure you understand the sacrifices you're making. And then I think the real key word with the North Node and the Neptune conjunction is devotion. Devotion when it comes to your life, your journey, yourself, where you're going. Devotion means every day. It doesn't mean just when I feel like it. It means every day, committing yourself unreservedly. And I think there's something very special that I'm sure a lot of us have seen is when we make a decision, and decision is really meaning cutting off all other options. When you make a decision, you take inspired action, the whole universe will start to correspond on behalf of your decision. So that's really beautiful. And this could be a really great reason for you to do something symbolic or ritualistic in this new moon cycle. And like I said, that can be as simple as literally just writing down 3 goals for the month, 3 goals for the 6 months, 3 goals for the year, and reading them out loud and saying, thank you, universe, for this beautiful life. I am ready to live my dream life. And then use these in first person, present tense. I am in this reality. I am successful in this work. I am feeling the etc. And then say, and show me how good life can get. Thank you so much, universe. And just notice your words are spells, man. And I feel like I'm harping. I should grab a harper like a lyre, but like I swear, guys, like I can feel like a blockage in the collective. Maybe it's Uranus and Taurus. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe people lost their voice at some point, need to find it. Like it might sound corny to speak to the universe, talk to yourself when you're in a room alone or with other people, but just do it anyway. Just do it anyway. What do you guys think about the rest of the planets? Anything else worth talking about before we get in the sign breakdown? Because this is our chart. Or are we ready to start?
Sorry, I'm just sorry. I'm just so on the spot. I feel like I've ruined this. I'm just driving, but I will be back in like 10 minutes.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
sorry.
You're welcome to come back and kick it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
I feel very called to say, and I might have already kind of said it in a different way, but these dreams that you guys have, please, please, please visualize it in your head. Get creative and try to see it in your mind's eye and meditate on it. Because if you have these goals with the Pisces moon that's so like creative and has like lots of inspiration and like the Neptune aspects, like please, please, please visualize it and use the new moon and meditate with it to really see like what you're trying to see. And we all did a meditation before this together, so I think there's something to be said about that and the power of meditation and visualizing what you're trying to achieve.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, and there's a phrase that came to me that sight creates light. I'm sure we've all had the experience where you can feel someone looking at you. Everything's energy, and light goes out of our eyes and even your third eye. And it stands to reason if the universe is universal, it sees you, it feels you, it hears you all the time. So it's like when you are, like Eva said, sitting down and just creating a vision, projecting a vision, the universe is going to see that as well. And that's one of the best ways to get your dream life manifested, is to really just sit down, create a picture for yourself, but deeper than that, tune into the feeling and the vibration, charge it with an emotion. Because, guys, this is a real expert secret. It's very hard to manifest something you don't feel good about. And that's the blockage that a lot of people are struggling with, is they know what they want. They know exactly what they want with their life, but it fills them with fear and trepidation. And then they move out of that image so quickly because they're comfortable in chaos or comfortable in strife or comfortable in sadness, depression, aimlessness. Why do people lose in their own fantasies? Is really the question I want everybody to think about over the course of this cycle. You can create anything. Why not create your dreams? Why would you want to create a nightmare? And I don't think it's anyone's fault of their own. This is Pisces. This is collective issues. I feel like culturally, we just kind of lose sight of this superpower. This is a little bit big brain, but I'm going to say it here anyway, just in case. I think most people can keep up with this conversation. Many of the people on the planet nowadays, they have Neptune and Pluto in a sextile in their birth chart. And frankly, am I wrong? Is there a sextile right now? You got Neptune almost in the sign of Aries. You got Pluto barely in the sign of Aquarius. It's like there's the sextile still active right now.
I feel like that's across generations. I think almost every generation has that sextile, but in different signs.
Right, exactly right. So it's like the idea that we create a reality is ever present in the culture. And I feel like more and more as we progress as the species, we're going to remember this and exemplify this knowledge in so many different ways that we actually are the creators. And that's wild because you're going to see people in their personal lives in the more microcosmic manifesting their dream lifestyles and getting out this, rat race or the confusion or the despair or the sorrow, the lead, and turning their lives to gold and living free and wild and optimistic and happy and in harmony with the rest of the world. And then you'll see collectively this start to manifest where issues like greed and poverty and war and racism and, despondency and fear just start to eradicate itself through our awareness. And that's the world I want to live in. I can't see a world without peace. So, we ready to go sign by sign, or is there anything else anyone wants to say?
I'm ready.
Okay, cool.
Wait, hang on.
Anything else? You got
Hang on.
Sabian symbols too, because I also feel like it's worth mentioning Mars in Cancer too, because
Yes.
yeah, like the moon, anything in Cancer is going to affect the moon. Mars is traditionally debilitated in Cancer, and this is how our energy works. Mars directs us towards our goals, and this is internal orientation, emotional orientation. So, at best, it's going to be a clear, unobstructed path towards what's fulfilling for you. But at worst, comfort gets in the way of your growth, or your emotions can be so volatile. You may decide you want something, but your need for comfort will take you off of that path, or the past would interrupt you from being able to make it happen if you let it.
Yeah.
I love that. I also feel like, for me, when I think about Mars in Cancer, I think power in vulnerability and how brave it is to be vulnerable sometimes.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I think that's beautiful. There's like it's loving to be strong, and it takes a strength to be loving as well.
Love that.
You got the Sabian symbols for us, brother?
I do, yes. And before I go into that, real quick, it's beautiful you brought up Mars and Cancer because the moon is applying a trine to Mars and Cancer. So
Ooh,
yeah, so
it is.
yeah,
And
that's
we
going
also
to
have Mars trine Saturn still.
yes. Yep. Mars trine Saturn. Um, I think I wrote down some other transits around
Yeah, and I
the
want to
so
I want to add on that transit too, just so everybody can relate to the energy before you get into that. I just want to say, even though I've said this before, just notice when Mars is trine Saturn and the moon and the sun, this is a gift that really revolves around just making a decision. Because that's what Mars is about, is choice making. So you'll see when you just decide what you want, how easy it is to build the Saturn energy, how to structure this goal into reality. If you really want it, you absolutely will. Okay? That's all I had to say there, Christian.
yeah, you're all good. What else do we got? We got um I think some other transits I wrote down around this new moon. We have Chiron and Aries making a trine to the Lot of Fortune in Sagittarius. That's another gift. And I also have what else did I write down? A Lot of Fortune in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces around this new moon. So and
Is that
it's
for
a beautiful
you? Is that your geography?
no, I or yeah, oh wait, in my chart, no. That was what I also found when I looked at the new moon. I was like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. But I thought,
So it sounds like it's gonna be a lucky new moon for the people in the in the West, in the Northern Hemisphere.
yeah, yeah. It's is pretty dope. Also, I think what
A
else
lot of
did I
money.
write? Yeah, a lot of money. Yeah. But the Sabian symbol that I found for 9 degrees Pisces, I have it pulled up here. It's an aviator in the clouds.
Mm.
This shows being able to stay on course, not allowing distractions or difficult or confusing issues to deter you from your destination. Perhaps you need to rise above and transcend the more nitty-gritty realities of earthly existence and its difficulties. Just be aware that you may not be seeing the complete picture very clearly sometimes.
Mm.
If you take special notice, you may be able to see through illusions, seeing past the surface appearances to things that others miss. You may be able to rely on your spiritual, creative, or intellectual skills to take you above and beyond those things that others have to deal with. However, you may also be evading the real truth. Sailing through difficulties, the need for accurate navigation, being in charge of the controls, seeking higher truths, mastery, flight, navigation, maps, compasses, pilots, escaping responsibilities, isolating oneself, drugs and alcohol abuse, avoiding reality, unearthed, unrealistic expectations, missing the point, and evasive.
Ooh. That's a lot to take in, bro. I love that. It's
Yeah.
a picture's worth a thousand words, so that's amazing to think about, a pilot above the clouds and the amount of focus that's going to take and how you are going to need a map. And I'm sure people may know this, but it's worth the reminder if a plane and a crew doesn't have SOPs, which is standard operating procedures, they will crash on the runway or crash somewhere in a random place too. So you're going to have to make sure we're locked in and, again, rise above the illusions of the material plane, but don't get so lost in the sauce that we don't actually get to our destination. So that's really imperative. I love that idea, King. That's a very beautiful symbol. 9 degrees Pisces. All right. And another thing, okay, this called out to me while you were talking about this is the Black Moon Lilith applying to a square with Pluto.
Mm.
And Pluto is really one of the most powerful placements in any chart. Pluto in the North Node really is the X marks the spot as far as who are we and where are we going. And where we're going towards is freedom and transcendence, freedom and unity. You know, freedom, you manifesting your dreams, whatever you want to call those archetypes. But regardless, with Lilith applying to the Pluto, these are dark emotions surfacing up in the collective. All right. And emotion is truly neutral, it's energy and motion. But I really think a big part of this cycle is going to be about confronting the shadow or the more negative, I should say, quote unquote, negative emotions like fear or sadness or pain or, resentment or jealousy, depression. Because think about it. If you want to hit the highest highs, you want to find a life full of joy and peace, prosperity, etc. It's like it would stand to reason you have to confront the antithetical parts. So that's the idea. And I'm going to go ahead and animate the charts. We're going to get this breakdown started.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's going to be amazing. And
It
thank you guys so
is.
much for watching this video. And do leave a like if you do feel called to leave a like. Okay, hold up. Let me stop the share for just a second. Let me get the chart ready. And then we're going to jump right in. So we're going to start with Pisces, and then we're going to go sign by sign, and that'll end up with Aquarius. So it may look like we're going backwards in number, but we're going forwards in the houses. So that's how we're doing this today. So let me back the chart up to the Pisces. Okay, I think I got it. I'm going to reshare this. Share the animated page. Okay, boom, ski. So and by the way, it's very worth noting before I even break this down, because this is the sign that the new moon is in, every one of us will kind of feel the energy that the Pisces risings are feeling right now. Okay. So the new moon in Pisces for the Pisces people, sun, moon, rising, but especially the rising, this is the moon in first house. So the gist of this one, guys, is completely reinventing your life. A whole new life is beginning. And this is going to be really heavily revolved around your identity, your self-concept, and your physical body. And this says for things to change for you, Pisces, you're going to need to make a change. Okay. And when we look at the Pluto and the North Node, really the issue here is if you were too wrapped up in other people's problems, if you were too selfless, you might not even have a self to give the world. Oh, Lord. And Pisces is so universal, so deep, so interconnected. It's always going to make a Pisces feel the best when they're helping somebody. So just imagine how bullshit that would be if you have nothing left to give. So with Saturn in your first house, Mercury, the North Node, Neptune, this thing, there's a lot on the plates of the Pisces people, and you're gonna need to work on setting better boundaries. And I will say, man, Saturn doesn't make anything easy. So for the last couple of years, these Pisces people may kind of feel like life has been beating their ass, or that nobody wants to help them or support them, or they may feel kind of disconnected from the world. But it's going to be really important for these people to dig a little deeper and really question the nature of their beliefs and their paradigms and think about, what do I think I deserve? And what reservations do I have towards success and greatness? And really, what is my why? What's my purpose? What's the thing I'm longing to do? Because Pluto in the 12th is going to make these people hyper obsessed on their dreams, or even collective issues. Some of these people's dreams may kind of feel like assignments. So I would say for the Pisces, do that thing I said. If you didn't hear me, and skip to the timestamps, it'd be really wise for you to write a list of goals this month, 3 goals for the month, 3 goals for 6 months, 3 goals for a year, and get really clear about where you want to go. And if that's challenging, ask the universe to reveal the path to you. If you can't come up with something, listen to the call from the soul. Okay. And I really like this chart because, it's the new moon in your first house. You've got Venus in the second house, which is home. And that just means this could be a really auspicious time. In other words, a good time for your money, for your self-worth, for you to really plant seeds in the universe, maybe build a new skill or invest in your education or just plant seeds for the future. great for investing. The third house Uranus is about you breaking free, thinking differently, changing your mindset. And I want to go back to the symbol that Christian kicked off, the Sabian symbol of the pilot, flying through the sky. And that's beautiful. I don't know about y'all, but I don't have a pilot's license. Like that sounds intense. That's crazy. So you're going to need a strategy because hope is not a strategy. When you decide what success means to you, it'd be really wise that you got really clear about who else has already manifested it and find yourself a mentor because you're going to pay for this experience, or I should say, this knowledge with time or experience and or money, really. So, we can't make more time and we can expand our time with money. So do your own thing, focus on yourself. You got Mars in the fifth house, and this next full moon is gonna pop up in the seventh house for you guys too, the full moon in Virgo, a couple weeks. So I will just say, be on the lookout, Pisces, because when you plant these seeds in the universe and you decide where you want to go, if you decide you want more for you, you may not be able to take everybody to the top with you. Some people may not be willing to go. Some people may be antagonistic, and that's not your problem. If you got a higher calling, you have to answer that. And just understand, when people want to hate or doubt or dissuade you from your dreams, you don't get your assignment from these haters. So listen to your own voice. Don't let external doubts of others become internal doubts inside of yourself. That's really what I got for them. Do you guys want to add anything for the Pisces? Because keep it short, sweet, simple. You can do anything you put your mind to, Pisces. Just please believe in yourself. Bottom line. Did I get it, or do y'all have anything else?
I'm good. I'm excited for Aries. I'm like hyped.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't really have anything more or else.
Thank you.
I see.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I did it. You said flawless execution. Let's go. All right. So next, we're gonna go to the next sign, which is Aries.
Aries. All right,
My
Aries.
goodness, you are an
Get
Aries
hyped.
rising.
Yeah, get hyped, get excited. It's one of your own reading for you. And if you listen to this whole video so far, I'm so proud of you. I know our attention's not it's not always there. But I'm gonna try to make this short, sweet, and to the point, and try to get you inspired to take inspired action with our fire rising. So we have the moon in the 12th house. The 12th house is the subconscious mind, it's dreams, it's intuition, it's spirituality, it's sometimes secrets or hidden things. And so with it being in the 12th house, I really want you to think about your goals and what you have, like for your goals in that sense. Like Mark was telling you to write 3 goals you have. But yeah, if you get really specific about it, it's going to help you a lot. Because I know we have a lot of fire energy and we have the will and the drive to go in a lot of different directions. But if we really narrow our focus and we get very specific about what we want, we can really use this moon to its best, ability for us. So I pulled some cards with a moonology deck. And one of the things I got is confidence is your key to success. Aries rising, you're meant to be seen. You're meant to play it big. You're a fire sign. Like, please, please, please lead into your, not lead, or you can lead, but lean into your confidence. Use that, to your best ability. And then I also got balanced spirituality and practicality. So with that, I'm really feeling like, don't try to go in all these different directions at once. Like I said before, narrow it down, get more specific about what you want, but use the dreams that you have in your head, like what you want in this life, and visualize it with this Pisces new moon. And then I also got another card that was saying, don't let your past hold you back. I know we said that earlier in this video, but if you skip through because you're an Aries, I understand. That's okay. So try not to get, try not to get too in your head about, shortcomings of the past or where you are right now and where you want to be, or where you think, you should be. Like, this is your divine path. You are uniquely yourself. So don't worry about what's happened in the past, but figure out what you want now, be specific, and go for it. And another card I got that I was like kind of wondering about, and I got some divination on it. I use a little pendulum to be precise for y'all. Long story short, communication is key. So I feel like it's also vocalizing what you want, not only to yourself, but also to other people that are going to help you reach those dreams and goals. But also, in that sense, do vocalize it to yourself, do write it down, do speak it out loud. The universe is hearing you. Our words are spells, our thoughts are spells, almost just kind of flew out of my mouth. Um, so keep all these things in mind. And then another card I got was surrender to the divine. This one's interesting. I think it can mean a different thing for each Aries rising, but in that sense, like, Pisces is intuitive, right? So recognize where your intuition is leading you. Don't try to be too stubborn about, like, making things digestible to fit on a certain path of like what life should look like, but follow your intuition, follow where you're being led. And trust in that, trust in your path. And also in a sense of like, if you're trying to manifest, wealth or career things during this new moon, recognize that you can and you have the fire and the will to do so. So please use that to your, advantage in this.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like 10 out of 10. And that's spoken like a true Aries rising. And
Heck yeah. Got
I
my hair
I
like red for
second
y'all.
what you say. I approve that message. I love everything you said. I
Thank
just
you.
feel
Thank you.
called to add one thing on top of it is that the 12th house is deep water, and
Mm.
I felt it in my aura. A lot of you Aries rising people are fighting demons. And it's like that, man. The phrase the monkey on your back, that's really what I'm feeling because this house is all about the 12th house is all about transcending the self in some way, and on a more healthy note, this is our spiritual practices, our meditation, our sacrifices. But on a more negative note, this is, addictions and escapism and illusions. And this is your sign to break free from all addictions. And when we talk about, using our words as spells for some, and I'm not religious, by the way, but I'm telling someone listening, this is your sign to pray for strength to break that addiction because addiction has no value and addiction comes from suffering. So you don't have to insult yourself for suffering. Don't add insult to injury, but we have to create a life that we don't want to escape from. And then we're going to get rich. Then we're going to get inspired. Then we're going to get to the gym. We're going to get sexy. And then we're going to do everything we want to do. And then I also saw you say, lean into it or lead into it, but lean. No, you got to remember, Aries are leaders. They are literally
Yeah.
first. They go first, set the pace, show people what's good. Okay, I'm done. That's all I had to say. Do you have anything to
Got
say
it, Aries.
to the Aries people? Because if not, it's going to be you for Taurus.
Yeah.
Anything for the Aries?
Anything for the Aries? I'm hearing just be yourself.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I also want to say about this chart, which like my astrologers can see, this chart is chopped, bro. It is, dude. It's great to have Neptune in the 12th and all that, but and Venus in the first is pretty cool too. But then you got Jupiter in the third and Mars in the fourth. It's like, hey, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to not feel okay. Just be yourself, decide where you want to go and enjoy the process, okay? And sometimes it's like, when you elect yourself for greatness, I want to add, like, it's gonna be hard. Like, for y'all that have that calling, you got to understand it. You want it to be hard. Because if it wasn't hard, like, it wouldn't even be special compared to everybody else's journeys, too. So, you got to recognize that so you can ease up on yourself and then kind of laugh at the game. It's just a game. So that's my 2 cents. I said I was done. I wasn't done. Anyway, here's the chart for you, King. We got the
Yes.
Taurus risings.
Taurus risings. Okay. This is happening in your 11th house. So this is, you know, social circles, friendships, um, you know, the whole that whole area. And you guys, I feel like this is you guys are bringing in people who a new circle of people who are going to support your dreams. What I'm really getting, Taurus, is that you can't do it alone. And I feel like some of you Taurus risings recognize it. And it's like some of you are going to have to take stock of your inventory with your circle. Do these people that I'm surrounding myself with, do they support my dreams? are there any, do I have anybody in my circle that's going to help me or propel me forth and without, you know, being jealous of or any shape or form. Okay. So I got all these cards pulled out for you guys. The crystal that I got for you, Taurus risings, to work with is lepidolite,
Mm.
which is the crystal for overcoming dependency.
Great for
And all
emotional healing too. All emotional healing. It's amazing.
yeah. And what I the energy that I was getting from this card before I even read the description uh was that some of you Taurus risings may over rely on your friend. It's like, hey, it's like, ooh, I'm getting this deep. It's like, hey, your dreams are my dreams are your responsibility.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow.
And it's like, no, 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 no. It's like your dreams are strictly your responsibility. Nobody is going to, unless if you're an entrepreneur, Taurus rising, then you could have people, under you that are, help you, not only fulfill your dream, but also maintain your dream. And also, what I'm getting, Taurus, is working on protecting your blessings better and care about your blessings more, Taurus, because you guys you guys are money. you
They
guys,
are. They are.
you guys are money, okay? And I feel like some of you Taurus risings need to protect, you need to care about your blessings more. And what I mean by that is you need to care about the maintenance of your blessings as much as you do the obtaining of your blessings.
Mm.
Okay. Because it's so easy for us to get tired, and you guys are thinking, what I'm basically getting from spirit is like, you guys are some of you are thinking about the short term with your blessings and not the long term. And so it's very easy for you to be not so wise with the blessings that you worked hard for. It's like you're leaving yourself with the labor and having no fruit to enjoy. And Spirit is really harping on me to tell you guys, like, really make sure that you guys are caring about the maintenance of your blessings. I'm hearing like change your oil, rotate the tires, metaphorically, metaphysically, metaphysically speaking.
That's
It's
good.
like rotate your tire, rotate and balance your tires, change the oil.
Get
Like,
your alignment.
yeah.
Clean out the
And
car, vacuum it.
vacuum the car, vacuum the interior of your car.
Get
Um,
your nails done. Eat some
get
fruit. Do your
treat
take a
don't
bath.
but also at the same time, Taurus risings, don't be frugal with your blessings either. Don't be like, don't deny yourself of like enjoy yourself, like treat yourself every once in a while. Um, but I'm gonna read the description for lepidolite because spirit's calling me to do so. A stress reducer that halts obsessive thoughts, lepidolite's lithium content stabilizes mood swings and bipolar disorders. It is excellent for overcoming emotional or mental dependency, releasing from addictions, obsessions, or self harming. Facilitating change, this stone of transition assists in letting go of patterns of behavior and emotional blocks that are holding you back. Lepidolite boosts your analytical abilities, aids decision making, and encourages independence in achieving goals. So that's Lepidolite. Other cards that I got, I pulled from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck, and we got the first quarter moon in Gemini, Speak Your World into Being. What would your I'm being called to ask you, Taurus, what is your dream circle? What do you want your dream circle of friends to be like? What do you, how, or how do you, what is your dream community like? Whether it's being a part of one or even creating your own community, you know? Um, do you want people to be full of love, authenticity, no bars held, uncensored, 100% themselves, or whatever it is you want in your circle? How do you want your dream circle to be? And are these people supportive of your dreams? Are you supportive of their dreams, other people's dreams? Because it's not just about your dreams, it's about other people's dreams too. And when it comes to the 11th house, that's naturally Aquarius, the visionary. And sometimes, Taurus rising people are not going to see your vision because sometimes they don't see themselves in your vision. So don't get too don't let that deter you from your path of your dreams. If you stop trying to get certain people to see your vision, essentially speaking, um really speak what you want. You lean into that Jupiter and Gemini, that moon square Jupiter, and you guys got Uranus in the 11th too. So really leaning into that. Speaking of Gemini, the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. I pulled that from the regular Moonology deck for you guys. Um, I feel like you got, which really just tells me you guys are going to be getting answers by the time the full moon is in Virgo, which will be happening in your fifth house. So these answers are going to be coming to like creativity or even like romance for some of you, like in love. Um, really, and also answers from your childhood too, because inner child is coming through really strongly with that fifth house full moon. Um, and really, with Pisces being in your 11th house, I did get the patience card popping out for you guys. So really just being not only patient for yourself, but having more empathy towards your friends around this time. But also having more patience towards yourself. More patience for other people's emotions, your friends' emotions, and also your own. And a trigger card that I pulled, a trigger that you guys might be working through over the next 2 weeks is when I am not happy with myself, I become inconsiderate to others.
Mm.
So, really working through that trigger these next 2 weeks, really working on being more considerate to your friends, really, these next 2 weeks. We also have financial trauma as well. That Uranus in the 11th um is really calling out to me when I see this card.
You
And
mean
it's
Saturn
really,
the 11th or
yes, or Saturn the 11th, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Saturn and Uranus in the 11th. There's a lot of unpredictability. I'm also getting some sensations in my root as well. So doing some, yeah, root chakra stuff. Let's see, what else did I pull? Let me see. Excuse me. Everything is energy. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality.
Damn right.
Yeah.
100%.
And also, Taurus, the last card that I got for you guys is to be loyal to yourself. Never abandon yourself for someone else, especially not now. Hmm. Yeah.
Amen, amen, amen.
And that's what I got for you, Taurus.
That's
If
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it, King.
And
Thank you.
Mark and Eva would love to add anything, they can. Unless if I oops.
You definitely cooked them, man. And it's like it looks like you cooked enough for the whole what do you call it? It's a barbecue? Yeah. All I've really heard while I was listening to you intently was just free yourself. Live free. Enjoy yourself. It's all 11th and 5th, and you have to be willing to do it alone, but you can't do everything alone. So teamwork makes the dream work. But at the same time, if you're waiting for everybody to co-sign you before you take action, you might not ever do anything either. So, I've really loved the conversation you brought that way, bro, because it's like we are the company we keep. We gotta have friends and we gotta be considerate to each other. But there's times when you are in the wrong circle. And I think it's important to think that the 5th is, who you are, and the 11th is how we are, basically. So, the question is, are you the company you want to keep? Are you the person that you'd like your friends to be? And this is a deep question, man, when it comes to this 11th and 5th, your friends. Would you be proud of your children to turn out like your friends? That's a deep question. If the answer is no, you do need new friends. And also, disconnect does not necessarily mean dislike. Sometimes you can say, hey, I love you. I want to see you win, and I want to see you eat with just some other table. There's a million barbecues to go to, man. You got to go to this one. So every time you come
Yeah.
over, you get racist and weird. And like, we're not doing that shit. I don't know for what reason, but some people just can't eat at your barbecue, is my point.
And to add on to that, as you were saying that, Taurus, and I channeled this to myself the other day, Taurus, but the worst thing that you could be to yourself is your own worst company. Okay. So be your own best friend, Taurus. Yeah.
Do you have anything else, Eva?
Um, well, I mean, when you're talking about recognizing who you surround yourself with, Taurus just, you can be stubborn in this way. You already are like a sign that is stubborn in a good way at times. So lean into the stubbornness of standing firm on your boundaries in that regard. I think that that'll really play to your advantage in that way.
I love that. And I think I want to like even put the square to Jupiter in red too and think about this. Like this is an intense energy coming in from the second house. And it's important. This is what I was also hearing when I listened to Christian. It's important that you are not frugal with your blessings, live free, enjoy your life, but do not be stupid with your resources, time, and your energy. And this may even play out over this next couple weeks with the full moon coming, where you may kind of see people in your circle draining your money, time, and energy, and that might need to be cut off or put some boundaries in place there, and they say teamwork makes the dream work. So it's like, for instance, if you've got a business or an organization, or like you might just be going to school or something like in your personal life, and these people around you start getting possessive or negative or jealous or resentful of you having to do your own thing, you're going to have to cut these people off or set different boundaries, basically. It might not be as extreme as a cutoff, but if someone's only making you feel sour, damn, dude, there's billions of people that would love to be sweet to you, so don't sell yourself short. And they say you attract what you allow in, so don't allow the bullshit in, Taurus. That's all I gotta say. And free yourself. So let's go to the next sign. And this is the part I like the most, the part where I get to speak. No, I'm playing. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. Okay, anyway, we got the Gemini rising. And this is really special because what we have right here is the new moon in your 10th house. And that means new goals, new status, new business. Hell yeah. I love that for you guys. So, the Gemini mind never rests. It's always on something, on some bullshit. You never, if you look at a Gemini, just ask them what they're thinking about, and you'll never hear the end of it. So, Gemini, this is going to be a very exciting time in your life because really, the world is your oyster, and you can create anything you put your mind to. If you decide, you take disciplined, aligned action, consistent effort, you will get there. Okay. So, really, when I think about the 10th, this is your public persona. So, this is going to be a really great time for you to really think about who you are and how you're perceived and what calling you really have and how can you answer it to the best of your ability. Okay. And this next lunation, the full moon in Virgo in March, 14th of March, that's going to be in your fourth house of Virgo, of course. So, ultimately, this chapter of your life is really revolving around success and fulfillment. Are you getting the result that you want? This might be a whole new chapter of your life. You might be receiving a new calling, but at the end of the day, man, you got to be happy. You got to be fulfilled. You got to have a good time in life. You don't necessarily have to do anything, really. You could literally just vibe and exist, but it's like we want more than just to exist. We want to thrive in life, okay? So this is actually a really special and magical cycle for you Gemini people because the next full moon is going to hit the fourth house, which is actually where the moon is home. So this is really beautiful because ultimately what you guys need to do more than anything is just listen to what your heart says. Think a little bit, get a little intellectual, get a little crafty because, gang, I know what it's like to be a Gemini. That's my midheaven. I came out of a Gemini dad. I know what this is like. So you're going to have to do that exercise, especially if you skip the timestamps or to this point. Let me tell you what you need to do, Gemini. you need to grab a piece of paper, I would really recommend this over the list in your phone. You could use the notes in your phone, but I recommend you get the paper so you can put it somewhere in your house or your desk where you see it. Or if you're going to write it on your phone, screenshot it and put it as your wallpaper. But you need to have 3 monthly goals. Don't do more than three, please, for the love of God, Gemini. You're the third sign, make it three. 3 goals for the month, 3 goals for the next 6 months, and then 3 goals for the next year because this is a very special new moon. It's the new moon in Pisces. We're starting to manifest our dreams. That's really what the language is talking about. So pretend like this was New Year's Eve or this was like Christmas, and you're thinking about where you want to be in the next year. So, hey, do it how you want to, but if I were you, I would start with that year perhaps, and then the middle range, and then the short range. And then we're going to take a line of action. We're going to have fun. I think the biggest problem I see with this chart and this energy is Jupiter in the first house, and that's square the new moon. Yeah, square the new moon. So ultimately, this would look like being way too distracted, too disorganized, too chaotic, too much going on in your personal life to the point where you really can't even keep up with yourself, okay? And also, you know, Jupiter expands, and this is expanding your sense of self. And I also kind of see this disobedience coming in the Gemini's energy where these people may know what needs to be done, but they just don't want to do it because they'd rather not listen to anybody, even themselves. And that's not a virtue, that's a vice. Disobedience is a vice. And that's brutal knowledge. And it's also nuanced because, discipline without discernment is foolish. Truly. The obedience lies with your higher self, your higher intellect, your higher knowledge. That's the bottom line. So it's like ultimately Jupiter is the focus of this moon in your first house, and it's just saying, how can you grow yourself? How can you expand yourself? How can you be a better person? And I think if that's a guiding question throughout this cycle, you're going to find yourself amazed by how beautiful you create this life ahead of you. Okay. And that's awesome. And I also see Mars in the second house, which is cool because that's going to say you guys just need to focus on security. Like, definitely build your foundation really solid. Again, you're a Gemini. So, like, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't get too many things spinning off in your mind. Focus on the step in front of you and just put one foot in front of the other and don't make uncalculated risks that are going to put you in a position to fail. Slow, steady, consistent. I also see Uranus liberating your 12th house. So you're going to find yourself breaking free from negative belief patterns and you know, I also would say that, some of these dreams that you share with the world may shock some people too, with Uranus in the 12th. So it's going to be really important that, you just be aware that, again, the fastest way to kill a big idea is introduce it to a small mind. You'll notice birds of a feather flock together, and successful people will associate with successful, inspired people, and negative, unsuccessful people will associate with negative, unsuccessful people. So the question is, who do you want to be? And I see with Venus in the 11th house, there's going to be a whole lot of love coming your way. And you're probably going to want to share that love with the whole world as well. Pluto in your ninth house is just saying this. This is really the icing on the cake, guys. Well, Pluto in the ninth house is obsessed with new experiences, new growth, and new horizons. And the North Node of the 10th says, now how can I make my mark on this world? All right. So, Gemini, I know you probably took all that in. Last thing I want to say is words are spells. So if you choose not to do that goal exercise, please, I'm gonna turn off the screen share so I can look you in your eyes, dude. Please just ask the universe, what is my calling? And use your words. Use the words and vibrate them out loud. Don't just think the thought, ask it from the heart, like I want to actually know. Universe, what is my calling? And then sit still and wait for the answer to come from within or around from your spirit guides, okay? That's what I got for the Gemini people. You guys got anything to say? Would you like the close up?
Mine was just kind of reiterating that. But just getting empowered by your mind, essentially like what Mark was saying. But if you see this beautiful, beautiful like being right here, it's like the sun is really shining through with all the different thoughts that run through the Gemini's mind. So really feel the empowerment that is your beautiful mind and the way that you have all these like thoughts. Get excited about that. And then also leaning into gratitude and appreciation for all the places your mind takes you and also just like where you are in a lot of different parts of your life. And again, what Mark was saying, discernment, I have contemplation, in reverse. So please lean into contemplating all those thoughts and discerning what is key and what is useful and, what will help keep moving you forward.
That's beautiful. You got anything, Christian? Or
Uh,
are you ready for Cancer? No, that's not you. That'd be her, actually.
oh yeah. For Gemini?
Yeah, for Gemini.
For Gemini. Um, I'm hearing be on your best behavior.
Funny.
Don't mess around.
Gemini is funny on that note,
It is, and that's the 10th house. It's like really do behave, because the world is watching y'all for real. So
Yeah.
lock in Gemini. So take it away, Queen. This is Cancer rising.
Yeah. And if you didn't already know, I'm a Cancer moon. So I feel
Let's go.
y'all. I really feel y'all. And I was pulling cards for you guys. And I just want to take a moment to say, like, I feel a lot of emotion, and I almost teared up as I was pulling these cards. And so I feel like you guys are really going through, a lot of different emotions. You're feeling a lot of things, right? Cancer, and Taurus rule the moon, but Cancer rules the moon, and you have this in your rising, right? So, you feel emotions so intensely and intuitively. And with all these signs in Pisces, that's a lot of emotion in the sky. And I just want to remind you, it's beautiful the way that you feel emotion, and it's okay to feel all this emotion. But I also want to remind you, you are a cardinal sign, right? So the beauty of a cardinal sign is you can kind of dictate the energy that you're in. Like, yes, we will feel things and it's good to feel them, but also recognize and get empowered by the fact that you can kind of choose how you want to move with this emotion and this energy. And so, with that being said, I pulled some cards and it said adjustments are required. And so, I have a feeling that you guys have really been in your feels and, kind of being like in the depths of them. Might have been pretty dark for some of you guys. And so I'm here to remind you some things, and also to, some things that I want you to keep in mind as you continue to, feel the new moon, coming in, and like once the energy is upon us, because you're so watery, you're so intuitive, and the moon is water, it is intuitive as well, especially in Pisces. So if you've been doubting yourself, I'm here to say, please, 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 have faith in your dreams. Recognize that prosperity lies ahead, and, recognize that we can dictate this. We can say this. We can move into this. Even if it doesn't always feel like it, we can start, speaking this into our reality and trying to feel what this would feel like to move into. And on that note, we have this in your 9th house, right? This is travel, it's study, religion, faith, faith in the divine and God. And so I want you to have faith in the fact that a win-win outcome is coming in, even if it doesn't always feel like that with the intensity of your emotions. I want you to start saying, I will be winning. I will be moving into this energy where everything that I've been doing is paying off. My hard work is paying off. And I'm here to remind you that it will pay off. And please, 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 write these as affirmations. Say these out loud to yourself. Figure out what this means specifically for you, whether it's something you're studying, whether, it truly is like spirituality, right? We have a Pisces new moon. Maybe, you've been feeling a little confused in some ways with your spirituality. And so, recognizing that, spirit is there, and you are moving towards your goals, but you have to remember to keep that mindset because you're cardinal and you can really dictate how you move through it. Some other things I wanted to tell you guys, because I just feel really called to try to lift you guys up, right? And so keep in mind that new beginnings are on their way. I pulled this card from an angel number oracle card deck, which is 0909. So new beginnings, great chance, opportunity, courage, accomplishment, endings, conclusions, and big love. So, with these heavy emotions that you've probably been feeling, that I feel most of you have been feeling, maybe you're closing out some chapters in your life. And this new moon is bringing you into this prosperity. It's bringing you into the things that you've been wanting and that you've been trying to manifest. But sometimes we really have to close out things that don't serve us. And, although it might feel heavy and hard at times, that still is progress. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all the steps you're taking. And, remember, the way you feel is such a gift. The way you, feel emotion, feel other people's emotions, like, please, 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 like, love yourself in that regard as well. And then another number, the last card that I will say is 1515, the big break. So I'm really here trying to encourage you and hype you up and say, like, yes, everything that you're trying to work towards and move towards, like, it's going to come, but you have to feel into that energy. Because if you're feeling the energy that, oh my gosh, it's not working out for me, this isn't, like, if you start speaking that into your reality, that's what you're going to manifest. And, I'm here to say, like, be specific with the way that you're trying to manifest, because if you keep having this, like, I'm sorry to cook you guys, but if you keep having this, like, negative mindset a little bit, it's not going to work to your benefit. So try to your best ability, write these positive affirmations and say them out loud, even if it at first feels weird or awkward or silly. The more you do it, the more you're going to feel it. And then also, use the Pisces energy to imagine, like Mark was saying, and Christian, all of us were saying earlier in this video, like, imagine the feeling and, what it'd be like to achieve those dreams, and focus on that feeling. I think that's something really beautiful that you can do. And yeah.
Amazing.
Do you guys have anything else to say?
Oh, so much. That was amazing. Thank you so much for that. I got a vision of the crab too while you're talking about it. First of
Yeah.
all, make sure you take a lot of pictures when you take that trip and document it. Enjoy the process. Book that flight, go on that train, take that road trip, do the thing. Venus up in the, I don't want to get too jargon for you guys, but the Cancer rising chart has been very interesting lately because of Pluto. But I also see with Venus in the 10th, if you really just go out on your own journey and trust those impulses, you'll see and be surprised how much the world loves you and how much support you can get just by being yourself, just by trusting yourself. I see with the full moon coming into the third house in a couple weeks after this new moon, that huge communication blockages are going to be lifted for these people. And this could, like Eva said, revolve around changing our mindset and, thinking differently, perceiving the world differently, but even hearing spirit more clearly. I think that's beautiful. And it's worth knowing that, spirituality, there's a whole new beginning here in that ninth house, and everything is spirit. I was getting the energy of Hecate as you were talking to them, and Santa Muerte, and those may call to some of our people in the audience, but at the same time, it's worth noting everything is spirit. Everything is spirit. So spirit is always around us. We can always tune into spirit. And I have Jupiter in Pisces, so I feel very connected to this chart with Jupiter in the 12th. And that's really important. And I think more than anything, like, last thing I would say to these people is that this chapter of your life really is about you demonstrating your faith in life itself, taking that leap of faith, going a new path, having a new beginning. That travel house, the ninth house, it's all about new stuff. And also, whatever you feel, like she said, insert that into your life, whatever this means to you, but it's about taking that leap. And I think it's also worth noting the ninth house is also about publication. So for those that feel called to start their podcast or to write that book or to create that platform, to use their voice, this is your sign to do that right now. Pluto in the eighth says, step into your power.
I
What do
also
you
want to
think,
add
Christian?
something.
Yeah, go ahead, Eva.
So, like, yeah, really trusting that the divine has got your back, right? And if you have these, like, aspirations and visions and things that you want, like, you have them for a reason. Yeah, go after them. This is also like the house of luck, if I'm correct. Like, so you're lucky, like, with this new moon in this house.
Absolutely.
So, please recognize that luck is on your side. You have these, goals, dreams, aspirations for a reason in this sector of your life. So get excited, take that leap of faith, and know that the universe, spirit, however you refer to it, is there. And, is going to catch you. It's going to be there with you. You're not alone.
Yeah, I love it. And I put some boxes up on the screen too, because it kind of helps mind map. Because I second everything you said. And I think one thing that's worth mentioning, and I even thought this while you were initially speaking, is that, this 12th house Jupiter is the guiding light, saying to chase your dreams and to trust your imagination. But at the end of the day, Jupiter can go to extremes and do too much. And, this is where, in this lunation cycle, Jupiter really is where everybody needs to be kind of careful because we may do too much, okay? And, you know, the bottom line message is trust your gut, the sixth house polarity of Jupiter. You can listen to your imagination and your visions and project images forever into ad infinitum. But at the end of the day, you may kind of be chasing your tail if you don't ground it in reality. So that's why it's important to trust your gut as well. Your gut is connected to survival, it's instinctual. So if you can kind of mend and meld the left and right brain together, trust your vision, but trust your gut at the same time, your stomach will help you kind of redirect yourself towards the right way to apply yourself towards the dream, is my real takeaway from this energy. And some would say the stomach is like your spirit guides. I've seen people mention that before, something to that effect. Anything else from you, Christian, or are you ready to go to your sign?
Let's see.
Because I did see the crab in my third eye.
Yeah,
It was
you
squirming around. It was
guys,
like, stop pinning me down. It's
um,
like I'm feeling
yeah, uh,
exposed.
yeah, Cancer risings, you guys have Mars. Mars went retrograde in your first house, but it also went direct in your first house. So I heard honor your emotions and channel your emotions in a productive and responsible manner and not, you know, it's good to, use logic, yes, but don't like neglect your emotions in the process. And so that's what I was getting from Cancer rising.
Beautiful. I love it. All right, King, take it away. This is your sign.
Leo rising. That's my rising.
Let's go.
This is happening in the eighth house.
On.
Okay, so the eighth house, and of course, which puts the full moon in Virgo happening in your second house, of your values, your, you know, and also materialistic things, finances as well. And one of the cards that I pulled for you, for us Leos, is financial stability. That's what you guys are going to be, part of what you're working towards with this cycle. Working towards that full moon in Virgo in the second house is, and of course, with that in mind, not to get too far ahead, but that full moon is going to be ruled by Mercury. So that Mercury ruling over that second house, your mind is full of ideas. Your mind is a gold mine. It's full of wealth. And so really with this lunation cycle, you're working towards turning your ideas into materialistic money. And you guys, I did pull the reflect card. So this is a time to reflect because the eighth house is a psychological house too. It's also the house of shadow work, even. So I'm hearing integrating what you've learned, integrating all of the shadow aspects that, there's an eighth house stellium in your guys' sign right now. You have Saturn in your eighth house, you have Mercury in the eighth, um, the sun in the eighth house. So many eighth house. There's an eighth house stellium with that Pisces stellium. To put that in perspective. So there's you Leos, you guys are really working on, that shadow work. I'm hearing shadow work that's gonna help bring in that money too, because there's for some of you that shadow work is going to help clear some of those financial blockages. And you guys are going to have, like how you your relation, shadow work in regards to your relationship with money. In your found, we also have childhood trauma out here too. So with the eighth house being one of the psychological houses, you guys are working through a lot of childhood trauma. I'm also hearing mother wounds as well. You guys have Uranus in the 10th house. There's been a lot of switch ups. Some of you, making a switch up with your career. Um, but also at the same time, it's like being your own boss, to my Leo entrepreneurs out there, your business is what makes you unique. Leaning more into that uniqueness with that Uranus in the 10th house with a business if you guys have one. All right. Um, a trigger that you guys will be working through over the next 2 weeks is when I feel disrespected, instead of addressing it, I'll start an argument. So this is regarding the throat chakra. I feel like I'm hearing like a misusage of the throat chakra. It's like you guys, yeah, confirmation from my smoke detector. Um, you guys, there's this misusage of communication. I feel like some of you Leos didn't have the best example, or didn't have healthy examples of communication, and may have been shown that in order to feel seen or in order to feel heard, you had to say something outlandishly to get people's attention, or to be seen in that manner, or purposefully start arguments to be like, hey, I don't feel seen right now. And some of you feel like you had to go out of your, like, step out of your authenticity or go out of character to, like, get the attention of somebody, because unfortunately, you guys didn't receive that growing up. And um, I, I'm sorry that I'm like the first one to kind of like bring that up and kind of just be like, wow, like put it into perspective, bring it to light. But um, we do have, I did pull hold your vision. Don't let your past cloud your vision for what you really want in this life. Don't allow um the shadow work that you guys have done to, what I'm really getting is, Leo, some of you guys get overthinking and introspection confused. So it's like, yeah, some of you guys need to, I did pull the lighten up card for you guys. So I feel like you guys have been, some of you guys have been overindulging in the shadow work to the point where it's like you're not really allowing yourself to have fun. You haven't really took a break. So it's like Spirit's like, take a break from the shadow work for a bit, and really, it can get heavy for sure. And don't let not letting your past, I did get the new moon in Pisces. Oh, would you look at that? Meditate and contemplate. Yeah, meditate and contemplate on what you really want. Not, really the biggest thing is like, some of you, felt like, I did pull retribution from my deck. So I feel like some of you, as part of that shadow work, some of you may have had to go out of your own way, like trying to start, in in gosh, can I speak? Yes, I can. Um, some of you guys may have intentfully tried to like start chaos as a part of retribution, just to even be heard, just to, and some of you may have not have gotten like reciprocity either, because I pulled that card too. But we also have I did pull the obsessed card. Why is it obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. Like, get obsessed with your dreams, Leo. Um, let I'm hearing like, let let the let the weight of your past go. You know, with all the shadow work, really just stop and look at how far you've come. In the healing journey, it can get so easy to, it's so easy to like lose yourself in, or it's so easy to over identify with your past, and And like Mark has said in the past, like your future is better than your past, Leo. Seriously. I really believe that. Um, the crystal that I pulled for you guys to work with over the next couple weeks is lapis lazuli. Um, Let me see. Let me read the description. Harmonizing all the levels of being, lapis lazuli helps you to access your purpose in life and brings deep self-knowledge. A stone of deep spiritual insight, it strengthens intuition, stimulates psychic abilities and clairvoyance, and facilitates spiritual journeying to contact spirit guardians and mentors. This protective stone blocks psychic attack, placing it on psychic or past life chakras, reverses curses, and clears disease caused by not speaking out in the past. So, yeah, that last line that I just said, speaking out in the past, that's going to really help with that throat chakra and being able to communicate in a more healthier manner and being your own example. Some of you, kind of picking up that some of you guys had to be your own example of healthy communication. And that's sad when you really put it into perspective and really think about it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys, Leo rising.
It's beautiful. Very deep too. This is a interesting house. Some may already know this, but the moon is in its fall in the eighth house. So there's no telling what's going to come up from this cycle, but I know if I could just keep it simple, Mr. Simplified Astrology, this is a new spirit. This is new powers for these people. This is new energies for them and maybe new bonds that they're going to be forming over this time. And like the shadow work gets deep, that inner work, that psychological unfurling, it's endless. So you got to know when enough is enough and try not to get lost in the sauce, essentially, or be too over identified with the past and its programs and its hurts too. And the one thing I also want to say is, this is new power. This is for the Leo people to really step it up and embrace freedom in their 11th house, that Jupiter, keep expanding, be a great person for the community. And I think when this full moon in Virgo rolls around in the second house, there will be financial breakthroughs. There will be energetic, releases. And I think a big part of this is that, the second house is all about life and taking care of yourself. And so, it's got that Taurus energy. And the real difficulties, among others, with the house, the second house is being too stubborn and closed off from other people too. So I kind of feel like, this is going to really break the Leo rising people out of their shells and help them realize what is power in their life and how can they exemplify and demonstrate that for other people. But I think that was spot on, King. And that lapis lazuli, that is like the best stone for these people right now with the throat chakra, for them to learn how to communicate their truths in a very effective way. And also to hear spirit in effective ways too.
Yeah. And to add on to that, I forgot I had I was looking at three cards that I forgot to read, but um I got be very selective, be cautious of who and what you let into your space, make a conscious effort to protect your mindset. Especially with the eighth house is also like the house of betrayal because I know this because I have Venus in the eighth house natally, so I know what this is like to experience betrayal, releasing, emotional or even financial entanglements, and really be selective of who you let into your life. And that's gonna be a part of that second house. Like, do you value yourself enough? And actually that kind of that square from the second house to that Jupiter in the 11th, like, do you value yourself? Do the people that you let in reflect how you value yourself and the like? um Another card that I pulled was transformation is here. The time for change is now. You may have some important decisions to make. So really it's just like I'm hearing spirit say make the damn decision. And it's like some of you have meditated and contemplated for too long to where it's like you're being forced to make a decision. And don't be afraid of making the wrong decision, and like trust in the decisions that you make. And then the last card that I pulled is listen to your inner child. Your inner child is asking you to come play, embrace it. That's going to be very important because Mars is in, you guys have Mars in the 12th house, and that's like the house of, that's also the house of self-undoing as well. So with Mars being there, you want to be really careful to not self-sabotage or undo any of the progress that you've made up until this point. So really be, that is the one thing I want to make Leos aware of. Confirmation from my smoke detectors. Really be careful with that self undoing in that with that Mars at the 12th right now. So but once Mars re-enters that in Leo, it's gonna be in your first house. You guys are gonna blossom. So
Amen.
yeah.
I have just a little bit to add. I just pulled up like three cards, and the one that's really sticking out to me the most is please laugh. I got laughter. So please try to have fun. Please try to like laugh through things, as Christian was saying, like that inner child. Like, yeah, channel that inner child. Imagine like the things like kids would laugh at or get excited about, like the little things, but also just further confirmation that this really will be a breakthrough for you. And just remember to be yourself always. I feel like be your best self always. Lean into things that ground you. I feel called to say that as like this person's riding a seahorse, and the seahorse is green, so things that ground you, but also leaning into like your spirituality and your creativity. Do all the things, all the self-care things that help you be yourself, your best self, essentially. Yeah. And laugh. Please, please, please laugh.
Laugh a
And
lot.
yeah, laugh a lot. Yeah. And to add on to that,
So funny.
um, as Eva was saying, like I also heard Spirit was saying to, Leo's approach life with a childlike wonder. It's so really tapping into that imagination. And it's like that imagination in the eighth house is very powerful. So lean into that more.
That's well put. I love it. And I like to polarize my messages sometimes so it can kind of show the spectrum that is coming from. And I'm speaking from the perspective of Jupiter in your 11th, Leo, is that while not everybody is your friend, and you need to keep aware of that when it comes to your eighth and second, who you invest time and energy into. This world is beautiful and abundant enough for you to actually be at peace and fulfilled and happy and smiling like a laughing baby, like that baby off the Teletubbies that's like, aha. And it just, the people just sit there and watch it for like 5 hours, dude. And you're just being yourself, and that's beautiful. So I love this energy for the Leo risings. And oh my goodness, do you know what this means?
It's your side.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
It must be time for the Virgos. Hold up, gang. I'm getting a call on my quartz. Yeah, hello. Oh, you need a reading? Oh, I know just the guy. Hold on, just 1 second. Okay, right on. So, basically, the Virgo rising people, this is beautiful because these mamma jammas, and by the way, if you didn't know, Mr. Meyer is a Virgo rising. So I'm going to show you what this means. I'm going to prove to you that this is the real deal. Okay. You've got the new moon in the seventh house of relationships. Now, of course, going to put the next full moon in your first house, Virgo. So this is new beginnings in your relationships. You might find a lot of new people come into your life for mysterious reasons. It's never a coincidence. This could be about a new love interest, new partnership, new enemies. Get excited. And it's all going to revolve around you in a roundabout way. Because you can only meet another person as far as you met yourself, but you can only meet yourself as far as you met someone else. So you gotta have friends, you gotta have relationships, you gotta have a goal, a target. And that's really the focal point of this new moon because Jupiter is square the new moon in the 10th house. So let me just tell you, Virgo, and I know because I am one of Virgo rising, they're the most focused and present and analytical of the signs. So where your focus needs to be really is on your goals. This is where Jupiter is transiting your 10th. It's about what are you doing with your life, fam? How are you serving the world? And do your relationships support that service? That's the trillion-dollar question at the end of the day. So don't get distracted. I see Venus in the eighth house for y'all, for us. I say y'all, but it's really us. It's me too. And it's just really important. You don't, and I will say, guys, we probably won the award for the most afflicted Venus transit ever. You got Venus in the eighth house of Aries. It doesn't get worse than that. And arguably it doesn't get better than that either because it's polarity. But that just says that, this is a time, Virgo, for us to really find how deep our self-love goes. I've been saying this since Venus went into Aries a minute ago, and it'll be here for a while this year, guys. And I'm gonna look you in the eyes when I say this. Okay. Get really close. Self-love is not a binary, it's a continuum. And what that basically means is not, do I love myself, yes or no? The question is, to what extent do I love myself? You may love yourself 1,000% when it comes to showing up to the gym consistently, but when it comes to being violated by your boundaries, not speaking up, that might not be 100% self-love. You know what I mean? Those are just two examples. So the question is, how much do you love yourself? And over the course of this next month and this next year, the rest of your life, I want you to pay attention to loving yourself and focusing on that and setting a good example for other people. That's the 10th house Jupiter energy. So ultimately, there is some very interesting energy in the seventh house, not just the new moon. It's a whole stellium there, of course, so that just says that this is an interesting time in your lives, Virgo, because what's going on right now is people are connecting to you for whatever reason. And, it seems like they call it like fatal attraction, North Node in the seventh, fated connections, fated attraction, whatever you want to call it. You may notice that, people just pop up for whatever reason. You already feel like you know them or whatever. And there's a lot to let go of in your personal life. This is interesting. And I don't know if you watched the whole video up into this point, but when we started with the new moon in the first house, Pisces, we're halfway through the wheel right now. So you and Pisces kind of share that polarity. And for you guys as well, this is about a whole new life for you, a whole new life, a whole new vision, really, more specifically for the Virgo people. The Pisces got the whole new life. Kind of take that, but it's really a new vision. It's new lens to see the world, new relationship with the world, new ideals. So that's really beautiful. That's really powerful. And I think it's going to be really important that with Jupiter making that square to your 10th, you don't really burden yourself with superficial moral slash ethical dilemmas. If you're not hurting anybody deliberately through your actions, you should not be so concerned with pleasing other people or getting their approval. Okay. So I'm going to say this again for the record, just because I know the timestamps kind of have people moving around, not seeing the whole video, which I recommend you watch the whole thing. This has been a crazy transition through the whole zodiac, but I digress. The thing about Jupiter is it's the focus of the new moon, it's square the new moon. And this is where our blessings are going to be coming through, but we have to be careful we don't do too much. Okay. So it's going to be important, like I said, for the Virgo people to really set a good example for others, be on your best behavior and lead. Okay. But at the same time, don't be taking on more than you can chew. Don't do too much. Don't show others to enact plans out of fear and desperation either. And also, don't care so much what others think that you become inauthentic. Okay? I'm going to say it twice. I already internalized this. It's coming from inside of me. But don't care so much about what others think that you become inauthentic. It's great to care about others because you're a Virgo rising. You're service oriented in this life. Okay? What you want more than anything is to help. And what hurts you the most in life is to feel like you're useless. Okay? So please, for the love of God, take care of yourself. Slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down, Virgo. Love yourself and just embrace your alone time. That's hermit energy. And that's basically it. And it's like, liberate your circle, liberate your friends. Mars in your 11th house, maybe you need to cut things off or you need to be a better organizer to your friend group, is really what I'm getting, And I live this in my life. I am a Virgo rising, and I've been seeing, interesting people come into my life, people that connect with me, friends and family and people that I'm going to get close to over the course of my life. I've been meeting such interesting people in this cycle of my life. And really, I just want to end off by saying, for the Virgo rising, get very excited because in 2 weeks after this one, March 14th, we have the full moon in your first house. And that's really going to be about a deep period of release in your whole life, letting go of your whole old life. So get excited, man. Your new life is going to cost your old one. Are you ready? Is my question, Virgo. If the Virgo risings are ready, let me know in the comments. I'm fucking ready. What are you guys thinking about this one?
Um, I have be in service and reverse. So kind of like what you're just saying, like, recognize that um, you really should be extending yourself to people, places, things that are being put into your life right now. And that I think is going to open new doors for you. It's also, I feel like it's going to give you a sense of purpose. I feel like Virgo is sometimes, not sometimes, but in some ways it's really for the people in that aspect. And then I also got trust your own understanding in reverse. And so, trust that your path, trust that you have planned it the way that you want it to be planned, or that it's going to fall into place like the way you want it to. Just trust yourself. Try not to get like too anxious and in your plans and stuff like that, or when you do, rather just try to lean into trust and affirmations of I trust myself, I'm the ruler of my mind. And recognizing it's also okay to take your mask off and let people see the true you.
Hey, I'm so glad you said that too.
Yeah.
It's about being real with others too. Like that's so powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
being the
And
real.
when you're being your true self with other people, right? When you're in service with them, imagine how beautiful it will be when you're so accepted and, congratulated for being authentically you. Like that is so beautiful. And, talking about like anxiousness that comes with that, like that is also so relatable too to people. People need to feel understood and heard. And that's a really relatable experience as well. So I think someone needed to hear that.
I know they did, and I appreciate it because, like, while I relate to this energy, it comes from the personal bias of my experiences too. So that's crazy because, I'm gonna say I am proud of all the work I've done on myself, but it's like when you get to a point in your self-development, you can even forget, some of the things you used to struggle with. And that's very important when it comes to this lunation cycle for the Virgos. Who are you in a relationship and how do you show up? And it's easy to put on a front or a facade or a mask and try to bend yourself to the perception of others, try to get their approval. And then you can start to see the negative parts of Venus play out, where you may get really out of character for because of your need for approval or love or attention. And you can start to, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. You can start to form relationships because of jealousy or fear or an unmet need inside of yourself, And when you were saying this, Eva, what you just said, the phrase that came to mind is it's way better to be loved for who you are than to be accepted for
Mhm.
who you're not.
Yeah. And like with this mask, hopefully you guys can see it. Like the mask is cool or whatever, but look how cool the person is behind the mask and look how beautiful they truly are. So
Say
recognize
that
the,
again really quick, just in
yeah,
case.
like recognize the beauty that you are. And like the mask is cool, it looks very orderly, structured, like put together, but you're so much more than the mask, right? You're this beautiful being that's been through all these experiences, and everything that makes you you is beautiful, and please don't forget that.
So beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And one last thing I want to say, because I feel like when sometimes it doesn't end, but I think this is also very important. But like, keep in mind, everything is spirit, everything is relationship. We're in relationship with everything all the time. And in context of this being the new moon in Pisces for the Virgo rising specifically, or really anybody's Mercury, anybody's sixth house. I'm talking to everybody's stomach in the collective right now. It's like you got to remember the universe is alive, and this is the opportunity for you to create a new relationship with the universe. I need y'all to reintroduce yourself to the universe on this new moon and say, hey, I know I used to be Sally Joe Bob or a baby when I was born. Wham, wham, wham. You met me when I was shitting myself and couldn't even hold up my thumb to suck it. Now I'm 26 years old, or I'm 56 or whatever, however, and just introduce yourself again to the universe and reinstate your connection and say, I know you're listening to me, and these are my priorities, these are my intentions, these are my goals. And how can I support you, universe? How can we have a great relationship? This is what I want. How can I give you what you want? I think the Virgo rising people have seen this, but like, man, everything changed in my life when I stopped focusing on what I could get and I started focusing on what I could give. When you approach the universe that way as a giver, and I think most Virgo rising people are givers, but you have to know how to receive as well. Because the best thing you're going to give the world, that you're ever going to give the world, is an example. Okay. So, what good does it do to show others the path to martyrdom, aka self-victimhood? Not much good. I'm going to answer the question to you right fucking now. You need to show others how to make sacrifices without being a detriment to themselves. So if I couldn't make it any more simple and clear, let me just say this. You need to be able to give to this world unreservedly, open-heartedly, but receive what you're worth as well. And this might hurt somebody's heart with Virgo rising. It's beautiful. So just open up to this. Universe, spoil me. Please spoil me, universe. Thank you for the gifts that I've received, the gifts that I have now, and the blessings yet to come. Continue to spoil me, universe. Thank you for the blessings on my path. Let me be an example of the goodness life has to offer. That's what I got. Blessed be. Anything from you, Christian?
Yeah, well, first of all, I needed to hear that as a progressed Virgo rising.
I love it.
um, but yeah, um, Virgos. Oh, the cards that I pulled for y'all. Oh, we got new romantic cycle out here.
Ooh.
That new moon in the seventh house. Ooh. And then the full moon's gonna be in your first house. So that's what your it's yes, some of you are gonna have a new partner, a new love of your life, you know.
Yeah, new
And
thing. New little new.
you know, you little new, yeah.
Seen the sneaky. You seen the
The
new?
new.
Oh no. You
Oh
want to
my God.
know how it smells? That's something.
Oh God.
Is that psychic
Yeah, but
attack
like
making y'all listen to that shit again?
Dude.
It is kind of, isn't it?
I don't want to
uh
give her the space to yeah, but no,
Right.
it's funny.
yeah. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, full moon in Leo, we got Go Wild. Let's fucking go. Let's
Buck
fucking go. Let's
wild.
fucking
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Especially with that 10th house stellium in your opposite sign, or like that Pisces. Oh gosh. That yeah, you guys, you just go wild, like unapologetically, like, but go wild when it comes to receiving. You need to go wild in that area though.
Mm.
Mm.
um
I felt, can I add? I felt something crazy to add too. It's like, we got to be humble as Virgo risings too, because this is the context of Jupiter in the 10th. It's like, it's great to serve, to give something valuable, but just don't assume that what you have is good for everybody, because that's not true. That's called self-righteousness. If it works for me, it must work for everybody. Nah, not necessarily. Okay. And every planet has its own vision and virtues and vices. And in Jupiter, we'll probably get into this at the very end with the recap a little bit more, but it's about obedience, it's about humility, it's about integrity. And the worst thing we can do is be a tyrant or a bigot or a hypocrite or self-righteous. So let's not do that. Let's show people how to be good people by being good people. Ooh, what that?
oh yeah, oh yeah. And then the crystal that I pulled for you guys is lepidolite. I know another sign got lepidolite, but
Ayo.
Let's go.
yeah.
It's a lepidolite moon that I got from Chair Bear.
Let's
Ooh.
go.
Yeah,
Let's
Uh,
go.
let's fucking
Oh.
go.
I feel
speaking
called to say clear quartz. His clarity is power.
of clarity,
Mm.
Bow. If you put
and we
that
Also,
with the lepidolite, you're probably going to clear out all your emotions, all your emotional baggage.
yeah, and we got expect powerful change, new moon eclipse.
Let's go. Let's
Uh,
go.
We got, what else did I pull? You are love. Any emotion fully felt turns to love, even the worst ones, because you are love at your core.
Mm-hmm. On that note, one of the cards I pulled was really green and, like heart chakra energy. So, yes, on that note.
What else? I also pulled liberation for you Virgo risings as well. And a trigger that you guys might come up in these 2 weeks is when I am angry, my immediate response is to get even.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So that's what
Success is the best revenge. We don't
yeah,
need to get even with people. We just need to keep moving forward.
yeah. Hmm.
I also feel very called to say that fluorite would be really good for you guys. Like the fluorite focus, helping you guys like narrow down your thoughts in that regard, like having that intention if you used it. Or you could use clear quartz and give it that intention as well.
Use all three. I like
Yeah.
that.
And it's interesting because top of the deck of my crystal deck, we got Morganite as well.
That's a sweet one. That's
Yeah.
good for the heart and good for love.
And
I
then
love these crystal cards, Christian. Like, please pull them for Libra.
yes, I will. And
Yeah,
then
they're next.
top of the deck, we got Malachite.
Ooh.
Oh,
And you already have a Malachite on, so
Keep that
you're
thing on me.
bro.
I keep
here.
that thing on me.
Oh yeah.
Where's your malachite, bro? We gotta
I got labradorite on me.
we gotta get you
I
a
got that in my
malachite,
hand
brother.
too.
Gotta get me
Yeah.
a Malachite necklace. Make me one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you right, bro. We gonna have to open up that heart and that's
Yeah.
open it all up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Malachite will just burst through your door like a bulldozer, man. It doesn't care.
But take a break, please. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. If you're
Yeah, you
if
might
you're
need
a Virgo,
to pair it with that lepidolite, pair it with that morganite, soften it up because malachite is not necessarily gentle. It's kind of
mm,
intense.
Yeah.
yeah,
But it doesn't do obstacles. It says let's remove them.
yeah. I feel like it also will sometimes remove people that aren't supposed to be in your life. That's
Yeah.
something I
What kind
feel
The
of
you on.
Virgos are getting overstimulated. Let's go to Libra.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Lady
telling you.
Libra.
I'm telling you, dude.
They're like, whoa.
They're like,
um,
I gotta go back to hermit mode.
yeah. So hello, Libras. I'm a Libra sun, Mark's a Libra moon. Um, Libra, Libra, Libra. So Libra, this is in your sixth house. So that's health, fitness, analytical nature, pets, work habits, organization, and stuff like that. If you guys want to add anything on to that, to the sixth house, like
Yeah.
explanation, feel free.
Your health and your job, your
Yeah.
service, your focus.
And for so I've been picking up some messages with this. I feel like this is for some people really kind of going into like your body and like your goals for your body and like what you're working towards through like yeah, your fitness goals and what you want that body to look like. But also like clearing out old mindsets that don't serve you in this sector of your life, and really stepping into this area where you have this new approach in this sector. So in addition to that, we have a couple different things. And so I feel like I'm really feeling the indecision of Libra right now as I'm like tapping into the energy, which is kind of funny. um so we have a fiery climax approaches in reverse. And so recognizing that, you are getting close to your goals and, this new fresh approach with this new moon will help you even get closer, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like you're as close as you'd like to be. Um, this is definitely a time to take action in this sector of your life. So when I think of that, I think of like, physically going to the gym. Please, please, please. Like, if you have fitness goals, you need to take action, like actual physical action towards those goals. Use your Mars in that regard. And also you need to have faith in what you're trying to achieve, recognizing that the impossible is something that you can achieve. I feel like you guys are really doubting yourself, a lot of indecision, because as I'm actually looking at these moonology cards, all of them are in reverse. So that kind of signals to me energy that you need to be like stepping into essentially. So, you know, picking something, being more decisive about it, and recognizing that you have the ability to achieve it, and it's not as far-fetched as you think it is. And then something interesting with a time to give rather than take in reverse. I think this is a time to pour into yourself in that regard, time to pour into your physical body, like your home. Your body is your home in that regard. And so, pouring into things that will help you, further your like well-being in that sense. And that's going to help you with your health, but also in your business endeavors. And then it says work through your fears. So try to eliminate, those fears that of things that are holding you back or that you have between you and your goals and this house, and your health and your fitness and your work. And recognize, like I said before, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. This is also a cardinal sign. So you have the ability to dictate the energy that you want to be in. So please, please, please be, saying these affirmations that will get you closer to your goals. Like, I have my dream body. I have, the work ethic that I want to have, or whatever that is for you. Or I have my dream job. I have the organization, or I am organized. I love being organized. I love that I have a strong work ethic, stuff like that. But yeah, once you clear out these old limiting beliefs and things that have been like worrying and like kind of, this indecision, like fearing about, being a little indecisive about, and you get a little bit more specific, this is going to give you this fresh approach to really use this new moon to your advantage. And yeah, just being really kind to your body, gentle to your body, getting creative when it comes to these new moon manifestations. Whether it's, a dream body, like maybe make a vision board, print out pictures. Libra is creative, it's beautiful. So you can make a vision board not only for your dream body, but, for like these goals that you have in your like organization or your work ethic and stuff like that. And that's what I have so far for Libra. So
Love that.
I want to
And I also want to add, dream job is a big thing with the sixth house too. Work you want to manifest, the service you want to provide. The message I get from spirit really is just get serious about your life, Libra. That sixth house is what you do every day. Your habits create this life. I think it was Warren Buffett who said the chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too strong to be broken. And if you're hearing this message, you know how to change. So that's beautiful. And the challenge with this one is that ninth house Jupiter making that little square to your new moon transit. And this says this part of your life is all about growth, all about growth, all about growth, and growth is the meaning of life. Progress is the meaning of life. And if you really take the time to focus, Libra, and start to write your goals down or vision board them and start to measure, you'll be able to really catalog these systematic improvements, man. And it's imperative we do this, because if we don't, we can get so wrapped up in the goal and think it's so far away. Sometimes we don't even do anything for real. So, that journey of 1,000 miles will take a single step to begin. And, that Jupiter can play out some extremes in the ninth house too. So it's important you trust the spiritual path and embrace it willfully and be willing to grow, which is ninth house Jupiter. But at the same time, you'll see this play out negatively when we want control so much or freedom so much or this feeling of unlimitedness that we don't even go to the gym, or we sleep past our alarm, or we don't listen to people that are qualified to teach us because we just think we have it all figured out. We're doing our own thing. It's like you can literally ruin your fucking life just by hesitating to enact the information that you know will benefit you. You cannot get the time back. So it's like you don't need more time to make decisions. You just need to take action. Just take action. You already know how to, like, this is the thing about the Libra is like, if you are not full of indecision, if you know what you want, you just have to take action. The hardest part really for the Libras, especially, it's like, if you don't know what you want, you got to start there. It's okay to want multiple things, but it's like, which voice is the loudest within you, If you had to pick one.
I also want to add, I pulled some more cards, and one of the cards I got was potential gateway, and it's a tree with a heart in the middle. And so recognize that as you're, doing these things and you're, say you're building these like vision boards or you're, taking these steps towards your goals in this regard, recognize that that's self-love and the beauty that is that. And, really lean into that energy as you do these things. And I think it's going to make the experience all that more beautiful for you, and it'll like ease you into it, just recognizing the self-love that is those things, and that the fact that self-love enters the heart chakra. It is the heart chakra to a degree. And yeah, I got another card that said show your support, but I feel like it's show your support to your inner self, to your creativity, to the things that you love and the things that you want. Self-love, is really just coming through in the heart chakra.
Amen to that. Yeah. And I want to repeat, like, the message I get is get serious too. Like, in terms of whatever you want in your life, when you start taking this aligned action, the universe is going to start to notice that. And that's going to set us up for this next full moon in the 12th. And, that's beautiful because you'll get to see how much the universe really cares when you show how much you care. I think the word is grace too, because with the work, it's endless. So it's important to give it your best effort, but to be gentle as well. 100%. What you thinking, Christian? Do you have any other ideas on this one?
Yeah, I pulled some cards for Libra. So the crystal that I got was is Sugilite.
Sujalite?
Yeah, Sugilite, sorry.
Nice. It's all good. Yeah.
I was like, I don't even know how to pronounce some of these
Suge
crystals.
Knight? Hell yeah.
Yeah, Sugilite, yeah. Um, this stone brings light and love into the darkest situations, containing lithium, a natural tranquilizer. Sugilite calms and centers the mind, gently releasing emotional turmoil, alleviating despair, and protecting the soul from shocks and disappointments. It also draws off negative energy, lends loving support, and encourages positive thoughts and reorganizes brain patterns, fostering forgiveness and eliminating hostility. This gentle stone provides you with the strength to face up to and alleviate unpleasant emotional truths. It comforts grief, sorrow, and fear. That is Sujolite. And what I was really getting from that as I was reading the description was like forgiving yourself and eliminating hostility towards self. So I was really getting it. So that was the crystal I got, Sujolite. Another card that I got was first quarter moon in Leo, be humble. The trigger that I pulled that you got that Libras will be working through for the next 2 weeks is I will start an argument with my partner to get attention. And this is actually, you guys have Lilith in your first house, but you guys also have Chiron in the seventh. So Lilith is opposing your guys' Chiron. So that if you guys are in a relationship, that trigger might actually come up over the next 2 weeks. So be aware of that, be careful. Um, again, that's that communication thing coming up once again. Another card that I pulled is a personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. And then the last card that I pulled was not everything is for you, and you're not for everything. Understand your energy and how you react to certain things. And yeah, that's what I got for Libra.
Powerful. Beautiful times are coming for them. For the beautiful people. I'm a progressed Libra rising too, so I really like the energy. I resonate. All right, King, this is your time to shine.
Okay.
This
All
is
right.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Or should I say Scorpio? No, just
Scorpios.
I don't know why I felt like to say that. That's
Dude, my brain
Maybe.
lately wants to call them Glorpio. It's like glamorous Scorpio. And I don't know if that's cringe to some, but that's like rent free in my brain, the Glorpios.
Slurpees. No, it's like
The Scorpios. That's crazy. Keep it.
I'm already tapping into the fifth house energy for you guys, Scorpio. That's probably why I said it.
Oh Lord, that makes sense. So
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying new
happening.
hose, fifth house, new moon?
Yeah, fifth house. Yes.
You're gonna get in there and say, oh hell yeah, let's get that going.
Oh yeah. So Scorpio, this is happening in your fifth house.
Can I
In
be a
romance.
Scorpio rising?
Who's a Scorpio rising?
No, I said, can I be a Scorpio rising?
Oh, hell no, no. It's like,
Your
Hell
turn.
no.
You'll
Damn,
get there
dude.
in your progress chart.
Bummer. Yeah, I'll
it's
just have to wait a little bit. I'll get
like dice trinity. No, it's like,
there.
you know what I meant to say.
Oh yeah.
But this is happening in your guys' fifth house of romance, love, and actually, I'm already kind of getting like be playful, Scorpio. Like, like redefining your relationship with play, with romance, with your creativity. I feel like you guys are going to be metaphorically, sometimes some of you literally might be, you might be giving birth to something. Um, really redefining having a new relationship with your inner child, childlike spirit, joy, self-expression, and drama. So what I'm really getting with that Pisces in the fifth is like, what do you want your love life, like dream life for your love life to be like, like the romance, how you show up in a romantic relationship, like having a more having more imaginative depth when it comes to those areas of your life with your creativity. Um, and you guys, where is Jupiter
In the
in,
eighth.
in the eighth? Yeah, that's the challenge, that Jupiter in the eighth. So there can be an overindulgence in intimacy, um, things of that nature, overindulging in sex, even. So Spirit's like, keep the sex to a minimum. That's
Or be
what I'm,
safe.
yeah.
Scorpio's not gonna hear that shit. Minimum sex. They said, what are you talking about, Christian?
It's like fuck sake. It's like fuck the condoms. This is raw dogging it.
Right.
Fuck safe sex. It's like fuck the condom. We're going raw.
They said, we don't give a fuck. We like to live life on the edge.
It's fucking exactly.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's really like what I'm getting. You guys are just, and you guys have the full moon happening in your 11th. So this is a culmination of like you might have to let go of some friends, your friendship circle. There might even like some drama, new drama for your baby mama is what I just heard.
Oh man,
Damn.
these damn ass baby mamas and daddies.
Yeah, see, we got lapis lazuli popping out for you too, Scorpio. So that's a
He's
crystal.
gonna set them
Yeah,
free.
yeah,
To me, this
yeah.
full moon or this new moon in the fifth is like a new self. It's creating the person of your dreams
Mm,
with that Pisces energy.
yeah.
And I feel like also, I just wanted to add with that square to the eighth, it's like not only overindulging in sex, like overindulging in power. Like
Mm.
with great power comes great responsibility too. And there's that Saturn in the fifth, saying the exact same thing. It's like not what we do, it's how we do it for what reasons as well.
It's like the yeah, that potential abuse of power too, you
Mhm.
know. It's like that plutonic and even that Martian influence over that eighth house too. So
Yeah.
it's how are you using your power? Is it for for the greater good, or for
hmm
you know
I mean,
um
you see Pluto in the fourth, don't you? Like
yeah, put on the
that's
phone.
intense. I mean, but Scorpio people probably been here and they've been intense their whole life. It's just
I yeah,
control.
I have that natally Pluto on the fourth. It is not for the faint of heart. Let me just tell you that right
Yeah, 100%.
now. Yeah. What else did I pull? I will start an argument when I cannot verbalize my feelings correctly as the trigger that Scorpios will be working through over the next couple of weeks. So again, that's very congruent with the lapis lazuli popping out for you guys. That communication, also like listening to spirit too, very watery, you and your loved ones are safe, new moon in Cancer. uh, Creating safety within yourself. Can you create safety within yourself without having to externally rely on a relationship, Scorpio? That's the question that I'm really getting to ask for you guys. Um, I also pulled "You're not alone. Whether you feel it or not, you're deeply supported by those around you. We are all one." Yeah,
That's deep. It's deep and
yeah.
it's beautiful.
Oh, and wow. Okay, I'm actually getting a channel song from this picture, from this. I saw the umbrella and I literally thought of Umbrella by Rihanna coming through as a channeled song for my Scorpios.
Ella,
When this
Ella, Ella, under my umbrella, Ella, Ella, That's the only words I know to that song.
uh felt
Yeah.
let me
What's that song about? Does anybody have a guess? Is that about like rain boots?
rain boots and boots from Dora, and no, I'm just kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
it's about an umbrella.
It's
Oh, oh,
about an umbrella. No.
oh.
Um
Ah,
I
right.
the chorus is coming to mind for my Scorpios. It says, "When the sun shines, we'll shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath. I'm gonna stick it out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we'll still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella." So
Let's
really,
touch and go.
it, yeah. So it's like even when it's raining, it's it's almost like a love. It's literally a love story. This is gonna turn into a love reading. Oh gosh. I mean,
Oh,
it's the fifth house, so I mean, I'll.
make
Yeah, and we got first quarter moon in Aries. Step into your power popping out for you guys. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for Scorpio. Unless if Mark and Eva would like to add more.
you got anything, Queen?
No, I don't.
Okay, bet.
Oh, oh,
You said, oh?
I was like, oh no, no, I didn't have any more. I was like,
No, 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 no. Okay, bet. Yeah, Scorpio, it's about you having fun again, enjoying your life, being your real self, being the person of your dreams, and demanding less of others, more of yourself. And then I think also this is going to be about showing yourself off to the world. Beyond having fun and embracing love and romance, it's going to be about you really creating that person you admire and sharing that with the world. Okay. And there's a lot of inner work to do in this cycle with Pluto in the fourth. So I will just say, sometimes healing happens in isolation. Your real friends will understand because you probably don't have superficial, artificial expectations of these people around you to be contacting you all the time. I really think it's important with this fifth and 11th house that, you understand the company you keep and you also be consistent in your expectations and what you provide to others as well. Because this is all about you and how you relate to other people. Fifth and 11th house. Okay. And Venus in the sixth is kind of like, besides the Virgo risings, I think Scorpio rising gets the award for like the most afflicted Venus right now with Venus in the sixth house of Aries. And this says that, it may, and especially with Pluto in the fourth, it may kind of seem conveniently everybody else is the problem for whatever reason. And it's like, well, that makes it so I don't have to look within, right? Since you're so fucking perfect, you got all your degrees and everything, you just know everything, huh? Huh?
I also want to say something before we,
Yeah,
yeah,
go
I pulled some cards.
ahead.
Yeah. Anyways, so I got some numerology cards for you guys with some words. So 1616 readjustments, you're overcoming obstacles. And to confirm what Christian was saying about love, soulmates, romance, affection, support, and comfort. And so what this card says is your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. On the horizon is the possibility of beginning a new romantic or platonic friendship, as well as the chance to begin life anew with a person from one's past. And that's also Venus in retrograde that we're about to enter, right?
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
everything will fall into everything will fall. I think I meant to say into place. And then we have 7777 perseverance. And I think that really attests to the fact that you guys are like death and rebirth, right? Like you are built to persevere, even if things feel really like intense and like you guys are a water sign. The way I like to describe Scorpio is like spicy water. Okay. So on that note of perseverance, change of perspective, reflection, inner strength, wisdom, and enlightenment. There's a need for change of one's perspective on what has taken over you now. If you want to succeed, you need to keep going down the road you're on. Reach for wisdom within, and then you'll just know what is right with the next step. So, believe in yourself and know that you are meant to persevere. Like, even if things kind of feel hard and intense at times, you are death and rebirth. Don't forget the rebirth, right?
Hmm. I got two words for Scorpio rising before I move into Sag. Be sexy. Okay.
Words.
Sagittarius rising. These motherfuckers have the new moon in the fourth house. And that's, of course, going to put the next full moon in the 10th house. So this cycle is about new vibes, new home, new cares, new peace, new security. This is a new beginning in your inner world, gang. And it's like a new connection, really, if you think about it. And that's the new connection with yourself, others, the world. You may find people come into your life in this cycle that you care a lot about. People that really make you feel safe and supported and nurtured and happy, 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 happy. And that's cool. And more than anything, because I'm a build on that and keep going. But I just want to reiterate, this is about comfort. This is about how we feel. It's our inner world. And this is about a new connection with you. So really, I think the Sag risings, they can expect to breathe a deep sigh of relief over this part of this year, this chapter as we're moving forward. They need this deep release, truly. And especially with that full moon coming in the 10th house 2 weeks after this, I'm gonna tell you, Sag risings now, your emotions may be kind of chaotic over this next couple weeks, which is totally okay. Embrace the chaos, find comfort. They say home is where the heart is. So wherever you go, there the fuck you are. So just understand, man, you already are home. That's the point. But I'm not gonna like gaslight anybody and rock you to sleep. Let me say also, like, for some of the Sag rising people with this cycle, it's really gonna revolve around getting a new place to stay, having a new home, finding a new sanctuary, new place to put your roots down, which is cool. And the moon, the fourth house, this is all about the heart. And ain't no telling what's gonna bubble up from within. So for you, Sag rising people, I'm grateful to give you this breakdown, but I would say y'all are one of the more important signs that needs the reminder. You really do want to know where your natal moon is and where your natal Pluto is by sign and house and aspect, because that's going to tell the story of how you need to be nurtured and how you need to take care of yourself, and also why are you in here in the first place. Connection is direction. You got to feel to heal and feel to see in this world spiritually. Okay. So also, with this fourth house new moon being followed by the 10th house full moon, hope I said that right. New moon in the fourth, 10th house full moon. You may kind of see a lot of these people just uprooting things in their lives, quitting jobs, taking off a label from their life, removing a certain status or identity that they used to play out, and just not giving as much of cares to it, because ultimately what you're looking for is fulfillment. And that might not necessarily be wrapped up in whether a version of success that you think you need to attain. So new goals are going to come your way. Ultimately, you're going to listen to what your heart says. So I would just say, Sagittarius, I recommend to everybody in this cycle that you set 3 goals for the month, you set 3 goals for the next 6 months, and then you set 3 goals for the next year. And just, remember the biggest lie we tell ourselves is that we're going to know what we want tomorrow. And I would say for y'all more than the other signs, you may or may not be surprised that, come the month or the 6 months or the year, it's like those goals might not even apply anymore. You might not even want them. You might actually be opposed to them, but the idea is just keep having a target, keep having a vision. So the focus for this new moon is in the seventh house of Jupiter, or the seventh house of Gemini, Jupiter in your seventh house. And this just says, it's about quality time with quality people, surrounding yourself with those that you actually love and that love you and that you can trust with your back turned. The challenge with this one is believing too much in others that don't warrant it, overextending yourself, investing all your time and energy into something that's probably a bad idea to begin with, putting your pearls before swine. Go where you're celebrated, Sagittarius. Be around people that clap loud for you when you win and speak your name in rooms of opportunity. And also be this person for those that you care about. Because really, that's what I'm getting as well, is like, this is time for you to step it up in your relationships, and not everybody will be willing to reciprocate the effort. And that's a sign in itself. Communicate your expectations. We got Pluto in your third house. And that's really deep. And that just says you have to use communication like your life depended on it. Ask for what you want. Stop leaving things up to assumption and chance, especially when it comes to your interpersonal relationships. Ask for what you want. Mars is in the eighth house of Cancer, which is like positive and kind of negative. We'll call it neutral, really, but you may kind of find yourself going about getting what you want in a very subtle and indirect way and being passive aggressive or manipulative at worst, So just be direct, treat people the way you want to be treated. Be a blessing, you're going to receive a blessing. That's really what I get more than anything. Have fun, love yourself, break free from mindless routines. Make sure that you aren't imprisoning yourself in the past for no reason. I'm speaking from the consciousness of a lot of these planets, love yourself, Venus in the fifth, break free, Uranus in the sixth, and, you know, share your raw truth. And share your raw truth with whoever's going to hear it, but do understand that some people can't hear you, as far as like family members, close people, some people that you may genuinely love and need in your life, they might not always be able to connect with you truly in the way that you feel like you need to connect. So, there's a lot to say about this fourth house. Sun, Moon, Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, North Node. It's about learning in this cycle of your life. How can you comfort yourself more? Okay. How can you really, and this is also in context of the 10th house full moon, how can you really take responsibility for your life and your inner sense of well-being as well? And I think also with that red square to the seventh house, the worst thing you could do is assume or expect other people to make you feel happy or fulfilled within your life. And another thing I want to say is like, mentorship. Get mentorship. Find the people that inspire you. Success will leave clues. Don't waste your time. Go get the map. There's a strategy. Someone's already gotten your dreams manifested like 10 times by now. So you can win every time in life if you got a strategy. That's what I got for Sag. If you guys want to add, be my guest. But they're probably already onto it,
I'm gonna hop in and like kind of building off of that. I got two different cards, 101, 1001. And so I'm going to talk about 101 first, which is starting over, and recognize it's okay to start over, right? We can start over as many times as we want to. And on that note, happiness is linked to self-expression, growth, and experience. Learning from failures is key. This is what the card says, by the way. Happiness is real, possible, and around. Understand it's a process and the pursuit of it. Joy is fluid. It's in the little things and it's in the big ones. Failure is actually fun, and start fresh. So with this new moon, recognize if you feel like you're starting from square one in some ways, that's okay, because it's okay to start over. And when you're starting over, you get to choose things from this like new version of yourself, this new, authentic version of yourself, and recognizing what truly does bring you happiness. Sagittarius like likes to have fun. It's a silly sign. I have a Sag stellium, Christian has a Sag stellium, but also on the note of 1001 spiritual awakening, this also attests to like the new beginnings, personal development, prioritizing creativity and healing in the right direction. And the card goes on to say, a new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening. So maybe some of you are, right? Which can feel like the dark night of a soul. But you're on the path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. So, remember, when one door closes, another one opens. And also, Sagittarius, in a sense, like if you were just to look at it on the chart, not with like your rising sign, but just like, a normal chart, that is, if I'm correct, I think it's like spirituality in some sense. So,
Right.
take with that what you will, get inspired about that. Just because, you're at this new starting point, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a really beautiful thing. And get excited, have fun, use the fire.
Let's go. Take it away to the Capricorn. Let's go. Unless you got to say
Oh,
something, Christian. I don't mean to jump the gun, but
Yeah, you're okay. So Sagittarius, I got, what did I get? We cannot erase memories, but we can let go of the heavy energy attached to them. Allow yourself this release out here. Yeah.
heck yeah.
Um, heck yeah. But I also pulled the universe is on your side. Nothing and nobody can take away what the universe destined for you. And I'm really feeling called to tell you, Sagittarius, that like you can't, like what's meant for you won't miss you. You know, it's so
Mhm.
easy. It's so easy to like forget, like, oh my gosh, like I feel like especially with that fourth house, like some of your guys is like the new way that you like relate to like your dream home. Like, what do you want your home to feel like? What do you want? You know, some of you may have not have had the best childhoods and or the best upbringing, and so using this full moon or this new moon, I should say rather, to really make your home or your inner world, metaphorically speaking, feel more at home. And this is about, a new way of nurturing yourself. This is emotionally nurturing yourself too. Um, a trigger that I pulled for you guys for these next 2 weeks is I can act resentful and distance myself from people for months without addressing the issue. What else did I pull? I pulled last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. Full moon Virgo, take inspired action.
let's go.
And the last card I pulled for you guys is full moon in Gemini, embrace the flow of life. You guys are mutable signs. So really lean into the flow. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I got.
Love it.
Heck
Like
yeah.
what I took, because I appreciate you guys' insight. What I took from that fourth house full moon or new moon then is, feel at home everywhere in the universe. Open that heart up and recognize that the universe cares about you. Everywhere you go, you are supported. And be brave enough to see it too.
I also feel called to say, like, you are the universe, like spirituality is in you. Please don't
Right?
forget that. Yeah.
Absolutely right. I think the Sag is already like on their way. They're probably
Yeah.
going after it. So they get nervous. They're like,
And they're lucky too. Like, y'all are lucky. Sagittarius is lucky. So luck is on your side too. Don't forget that.
it's because they believe, because they have faith. All right, Queen, what's up with the Capricorns?
All right, Capricorn. So I'm also a Cap midheaven. So I got this cardinal energy. I have some minor placements in Capricorn, but I'm just going to get right to it. So, you guys have this in your third house of communication. And so, on that note, I pulled two cards that were in reverse to start. And it's interesting because we're in this new moon energy, but it also in reverse says it's a time to release negativity. What do you need to release? And I think it's like, in the mindset of what you're, you know, speaking about, speaking into reality and stuff like that. Like recognize that your words are spells and recognize like what you need to release in your mindsets that are going to help you continue this like grounded path towards your goals, but also recognizing that this is in your third house of communication. So really voicing yourself and stepping into this version of yourself where you aren't as shy. And that's something that was really kind of coming through. And I'll speak more on that with what the cards are saying. But it was showing me, step out of your comfort zone, show the world the real you. Nothing is set in stone, and surrender to the divine. So I feel like in this sense, like I'm getting an energy that some Capricorn risings, or maybe a lot of you guys are a little shy sometimes in nature. Not always, but recognize that your voice is so powerful and y'all are really freaking lit. Like honestly, like I'm here to hype you up. I'm here to tell you, like, if you didn't already know, y'all are awesome. You know how to get the bag. You're super freaking grounded. I respect like the fuck out of you. Like as an Aries rising, like I see y'all. I respect y'all. I want to hear what you have to say. And so with this new moon, like recognize that your words have weight and that they can really help you manifest towards your goals, but try to speak more positively about the things that you're trying to achieve and recognize that you are on your way to them as well. And so in that sense, like surrendering to the divine, trusting in it, trusting in the divine. And then I got some more cards. I also got this message that, you need to take time to breathe out. So, take some time to sit in this grounded energy that you have, right? And figure out what these goals are. Y'all are really good about goals, the grounded, sense of this like earth sign and whatnot. So recognize that, alone time, sitting with yourself, breathing, like this is your third house, that's your voice, but also breathing and like getting grounded and meditating and figuring out what it is and getting precise about it. But yeah, do that with yourself, like lean into your alone time. And then once you're ready to voice it, recognize that it's okay to voice it. Everyone wants to hear what you have to say. You're really like freaking cool. If you need that reminder. But also I got some other beautiful cards that were saying be gentle with yourself, which kind of shows me you already are being gentle with yourself, but to continue doing that with this new moon. And again, as the other card said, to take time to breathe out, pause if you feel like you need to ground yourself or like recheck your thoughts as you are continuing to manifest. But yeah, recognize that this new moon is going to help you expand. And I see this as a time where you stepping out of your comfort zone will show you how many people are actually there and like willing to receive what you have to say. And it will lead you towards like these beautiful goals and dreams you have with your future, whether it's like a house, a home, or new business endeavors, friendships, or just even in the sense of new endeavors that'll help you step out of your comfort zone. I'm getting also like reconnecting with nature and voicing that for some of you. Maybe you've been feeling a little shy to do things and step out of your comfort zone, but voicing that, you're probably going to have a friend or someone in your life that will help you take these steps towards these things that you want, and like not necessarily like hold your hand, but be there with you if you want them to. So lean into your support and recognize that once you voice things and you lean into this like confidence, like with your voice, it will be rewarding for you.
Talk your shit, Capricorn.
Yeah.
Let
Feel
them
free to add.
know.
I'm gonna pull some more cards while you guys hopefully add a little bit more.
I like it. I think it's just about Jupiter in the sixth, you know. Just remember, you're not meant to be everything for everybody. If you want to, you'll probably end up being nothing to everybody, you know. So just know that when it comes down to the work you're doing, how you choose to show up in the world, your service, you know, you're the perfect person for your people. Not everybody's going to get it because you said everybody wants to hear what you have to say. And I said that's the spirit in my head. But I was like, some people absolutely don't want to fucking hear it, dude. Like a lot of people don't want to hear it. And that's just the truth, you know? But fuck them, dude. That's not your
Yeah.
problem. That's not your problem if they don't care, you know? If they don't, somebody else will. Some people don't even like to hear their own thoughts, you know? So it's like you can't take it personal when people are negative, truly. And that's the thing about like, you know, it's funny, I've been mentioning this for a minute, like the afflicted Venus, like Capricorn won the afflicted Mars award for this chart as far as Mars in the seventh house of Cancer. It's like there's almost certainly going to be conflicts in this cycle with interpersonal dynamics where people need to know where the line is and, you know, how not to talk to you or how to treat you. And, you know, you may also get some pushback from others about how you're treating them. And you just need to make sure that you're humble enough to listen to others that you care about, you know, and really to actually care about the world is really what I'm getting with the Mars in the seventh house. Actually give a fuck about the world enough to empathize with people. Because compassion requires empathy. I don't give a fuck how much you think you love the world. If you're not willing to feel the world, you don't fucking care at the end of the day, man. You know, and that's hard knowledge. You may disagree with what I'm saying, but I'm gonna reincarnate that hill if I have to. Let me slow down, reincarnate on that hill if I have to. Like sometimes my word is kind of like just like there's so many apostrophes, I forget the consonants. But anyway, you're lit, Cappy, and make
Yeah.
sure that you have the network. That's really what I'm getting about the third house is the right connections in your life and be that connection for other people too.
I'm gonna jump in really quick just because the card I pulled kind of goes with that note a little bit.
Yeah,
So
man.
I pulled 0440, the gut feeling, and it says follow your gut. It's more than a feeling. Be real with people and focus on meaningful relationships. Remember, you must also bring value to the table. Treat others with respect, or else karma will bite your ass. The card said it. Three
Damn
is a
right.
crowd. Three is a crowd. So yeah, like on that note of what Mark was saying, like, um, recognize like who you're surrounding yourself with, and yeah, um, stand firm in your boundaries and recognize where your energy is received. And um when you choose to lean into the expansion I was talking about before, maybe you're just feeling called to talk about things with one person, or do these new things with one person. That's okay. It doesn't have to be this like big grand thing. Yeah, that's all I got.
It's beautiful. They got big. Oh, and one other thing I have to say is that with Venus in the fourth, the Capricorn people are gonna really love interior decorating right now,
Ooh.
making sure they're surrounded by beauty in their home and do things that make them feel beautiful on the inside. Embrace intimacy, embrace touch. Anything from you, Christian? Or are we going to your sign?
Um, yeah,
Or your
so
sign, I should say.
I so Capricorn, the first card that I pulled for you guys is South Node, don't let your past hold you back. And I relate to that card a lot because I have a South Node in Capricorn that has the Capricorn asked in my fifth house. That is what I have already mastered in previous lifetimes. So I know what that's like. Been there, done that. So don't you guys have Aquarius and you guys have Pluto in the fourth currently. So
Isn't it the
definitely
second?
second, sorry.
Yeah,
Wait,
second house.
sorry. Yeah.
All good.
I'm still processing the activations, man. I don't lie.
Talk about
Uh,
stuff in the past.
yeah.
I'm playing.
Yes, you guys are like some of you guys are stuck in the past, and it's like don't let that hold you back. The crystal that I pulled for you guys is Angelite. That's
Ooh.
what I use. Heightening spiritual perception. This powerful stone facilitates angelic contact and enhances telepathic communication out of body journeying. Angelite opens up psychic channeling from the highest sources, connecting to universal knowledge and raising awareness of multidimensional realms. It facilitates speaking your truth and being more compassionate, accepting that which cannot be changed. A popular stone with healers, Angelite strengthens awareness and deepens attunement. It is able to create a protective auric shield, balance etheric and physical energies, and prevent psychic overwhelm.
Mm.
Is the crystal I got for you guys in
And it's
Capricorn.
very blue also, so that's
Yeah.
going to be great for communication on top of everything he just said.
Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And what I was really as I was reading the description, Spirit was telling me that like some of you Capricorns are a little too grounded in reality and even hearing overindulging in reality right now. So it's like tap into that imagination um more, with that angel light, work with that crystal and tap into that spiritual side. There has to be a balance. You don't want to overindulge in reality to where you don't overindulge in your humanness to the point where you forget that you're a spirit and vice versa.
That's beautiful.
Um, yeah.
I'm also getting be silly. I feel like that was coming through. Like I wanted to start putting my hair on my face as like a little like mustache. So be silly. I feel like that's something that could be
Yeah.
helpful.
Yes,
Yeah.
silly. Yes,
And
silly.
also I got confidence is your key to success, New Moon in Leo. But we also got Think It Through, New Moon in Gemini that I got for Capricorns. What else did I get? I got Protect Your Energy. Someone has their eyes on you and is directing bad vibes your way. Be careful not to absorb it. So what I'm really getting from this card is observe, but don't absorb, especially with that Pisces in the third. It's so easy for you guys to absorb the emotions from the people within like your immediate community and your immediate environment. And so it's really important to protect your energy. And I do feel like that ties into the angel light as well. Um, a trigger card that I pulled for you guys is that I can be quick tempered and say hurtful things without understanding why. And the last card I pulled for you guys is Karma Don't Miss. Spirit is always watching over us. You can sit back and watch Karma handle things for you.
Yeah. I also feel called to say, because and I felt like some water like in my eye a little bit as I thought about the message. When you're protecting your energy, some of you really need to protect your crown, like when Christian was talking about protecting your energy. So you might feel called to like put something on your head that you program to protect your crown. I think that that'll be really helpful for some of you guys.
Mhm.
Oh, forgot to mention, I didn't even see this card. First quarter moon in Pisces, Capricorn, honor your feelings. Honor your feelings. Feel it.
I think
Yeah.
that's all very spot on. One thing that flew through my head when I was listening to you guys was with Jupiter in the sixth for these Capricorn people, it's going to be about not being too busy, with your day-to-day routine. You have to make it make sense. You have to stack your habits in a way that's going to give you the most leverage. And, there's always going to be new levels and new devils, and there will be hating people that come with the territory. But, when you practice these daily banishings and protection workings and positive self-talk and affirmation, and you guide yourself, you really nothing can stop you. And again, karma is really real too. So if you keep your hands to yourself and mind your business and just choose to be a person of integrity, nobody can fuck with you. And if they try to, the repercussions are going to be severe. I know a lot of you Capricorns have seen this, haven't had to do anything. You just turn your eyes and your secret haters are just sprawled out like, damn,
Yeah.
I didn't even know we had beef. It's like, I don't even know you. Apparently we had beef. Oh, bummer, dude. Anyway, King, are you ready for the final, last but not least sign of the zodiac?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro.
Take it away,
So,
brother.
all right, Aquarius. I I used to relate because in my solar return chart last year, I was an Aquarius rising. But this year, in my solar return chart, I'm a Cancer rising. So I can relate to you, but at the same time, I can no longer relate. But as an Aquarius stellium, I can relate to your energy. So this is happening in your second house, which will put the full moon in Virgo in your eighth house. So the second house, money, work, income, daily routines, values, material possessions, priorities, your habits, and your job, your work ethic, what you value, how you treat yourself. It's like forest themes, all the good things. And well, already as I'm pulling cards, the trigger card that I pulled for you guys is when I don't feel good about myself, I become needy and clingy towards others. Um, Damn, that's a huge one for you guys, Aquarius. Because especially with that Pisces in the you have that stellium in the second house, you have Mercury in the second, you have it's like dreaming about the wealth that you want, but how do you like with Saturn in the second house, it's like creating you guys are creating like stability on all levels, emotional stability, um materialistic stability, financial stability, any kind of stability that you can think of, and even stability within your inner world. I'm also feeling a very huge pain in my solar plexus, Aquarius. We got to step into that power more. Confirmation fart. Oh, fuck. Yeah, we got to step into that power, work on authority. Man, I can feel it in my solar plexus so strongly. Okay, I got two crystals for you guys. So we got citrine and carnelian for the Aquariuses to work with. So citrine promotes generosity of spirit and accumulation of wealth. It encourages gratitude for the small gifts in life and motivates you to freely share your abundance and expand your heart. Excellent for counteracting depression. This crystal instills optimism and a positive attitude. It overcomes apathy and hopelessness and raises self-esteem. It makes you less sensitive to criticism so that you respond constructively. Citrine capitalizes on your skills and talents, stimulating your mind. This stone of creativity facilitates seeing new possibilities and actualizing them. Yeah, seeing, yeah, that Saturn in the second house, actualizing the wealth. And you're also with Mercury there, Aquarius, it's like your mind is a gold mine in wealth. And Saturn there is really asking, how can we actualize this wealth? And you're building this wealth over time. And you're being called to not only obtain the wealth, but you're also being called to sustain the wealth. And the great work never ends, Aquarius. The great work never ends. So when it comes to that sector of wealth, it's not just about obtaining the wealth. We don't stop there. Don't rest. I'm feeling called to tell you from the depths of my solar plexus not to rest on your laurels when it comes to your wealth. Confirmation from my smoke detector. Really hone in on the maintenance, the obtaining of wealth, but also the the like the maintenance of such as well. And we also got carnelian out here for you too. Rejuvenating carnelian is a powerful motivator with great vitality, perfect for the base and sacral chakras. It re-energizes the whole energetic system. Paradoxically, it soothes inflammation, overactive conditions, calming where appropriate. This crystal has traditionally been used to support the reproductive organs and circulatory system and to increase fertility. It boosts the metabolism, regulates bodily fluids, and supports healing in the bone and ligaments. Carnelian is particularly beneficial for ailments such as arthritis, rheumatism, and neuralgia. Um, this crystal also helps encourages acceptance of the cycle of life. So those were your two crystals. I'm gonna pull
Those are
some more cards as
both really
going.
good physical healers, the carnelian and the citrine. and they get your energy moving, and they dissolve all the blockages, and they bring that lust for life back and success as well.
Wow. Okay. So last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself, Aquarius. For real. Spirit's like saying you guys have so much to look back on. You guys have done so much work that it's easy to forget how far you've come, and also on the vice versa as well. Like it's so easy to, yeah, and look, this moon in Capricorn, leave the past behind. And first quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. Speak your world into being. Hey, you guys have Chiron in the third house, I think. No, wait.
That's right.
Yeah, Chiron in the third house. Yeah, so that's overcoming a communication wound there with helping to like speak your world and to speak what you want in this life, when it comes to that. And know that you are deserving of your dreams, Aquarius. You're deserving of your dreams. You deserve it. And it's not because you don't have to um there's things that you inherently deserve that are not tied to what you do and the effort that you confirmation of my smoke detector. Um, so I really felt led to say that. And let me pull like a couple more cards to kind of crown. Ooh, wow, it's too many. Okay. I feel Aquarius, you guys are like overstimulated, but it's like I'm gonna overstimulate you some more. No. Yeah, see, tune out the distractions. Sometimes we must stand alone so we can hear our angels clearly and be guided into divinity. Speaking of, yeah. Let me see. I'm gonna get a closing card from the mythology deck, see what comes out of there. We got expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. We got nothing is yet set in stone, but it came out in reverse. Things are only set in stone unless you make it to be set in stone. That's what I'm really getting with that. Nothing is yet set in stone. It's a mutable moon, which is what this Pisces moon is. It's a mutable moon, and also the Virgo full moon. It's a mutable moon. The future is not yet set in stone unless you create it from the present moment. So don't overindulge in the future or overindulge in the past. This is going to sound very Aquarius to say Aquarius, but you get my drift. But it's like you're creating the future from some of you are like creating a future from you're creating a new past under the guise of the future of what you label to be the future. So take that with take that as you will, Aquarius. But yeah, and yeah, full moon in Leo, last card, don't let pride get in your way. I'm hearing don't get pompous. That's like the word that came through. Um, you know, uh be humble essentially is like in layman's terms is yeah, oh, wow, okay. Spirit's telling me to use this card. Bottom of the deck says, do it for you. Understand what makes you tick and make it happen, not for anyone else. So really like just live this life for you. Not for anybody else. That's kind of what I'm getting. Also, that kind of ties into the trigger that I pulled for you guys. Um, Becoming less clingy and needy towards other people. Don't feel good about yourself. So raising your self-esteem. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys, Aquarius. And Mark and Eva, you're more than welcome to add.
What do you
I'm
think?
gonna hop, I'm gonna hop in real quick. So I got a card in reverse that says heighten your vitality. And so this is what it looks like upright. And with this, I'm getting like do things that make you feel alive, like that really fuel your soul. But also with all the colors, I was getting like balancing your chakras and doing things like based on the chakras. but do it in a way that you want to, right? Because you're an Aquarius, right? You're uniquely you. It doesn't necessarily have to fit the mold of society. So um, do things that, heighten, your energy, and also like balancing your chakras as well. And then as you do that, remember that, that's all going to help you as you work towards like your goals and like the big picture of what it is you're working towards. Especially if that feels kind of like, depending on what you have to do for heightening your vitality or the chakras, like if it feels a little like mundane, or, like, whatever it may be, just remember, keep the big picture in mind as you're doing it. And that'll, help you do those things if you need a little extra boost to encourage you as you do them.
I love it. I like what you guys are touching on because this is the second house new moon for the Aquarius rising. And of course, the next full moon hits the eighth. And these two houses are very much about the body, the physical body. And more poetically, this new moon in the second is about creating your dream life because the second house is life. And that could look like, getting a bunch of stuff that you enjoy or, planting good seeds for the future, shifting your values in such a way where you live more in harmony with you. The fifth house is the focal point with Jupiter up there. So yeah, you got to make sure that you're proud of yourself, inspired enough to really give life your full effort, but don't be like a pompous asshole like Christian was touching on. Don't be so self-absorbed to the point where you lose sight of everybody. And that's the beautiful thing about being an Aquarius is that you're part of something bigger than you. You see the connection. I also see that, Pluto's in the first. It's really the time for the Aquarius to step up in the collective. So they have to prioritize themselves. They have to be obsessed with themselves, which is Pluto in the first. But at the same time, and then Mars is in the sixth, there has to be an orientation towards service. Self-obsessed, service-oriented. Give the future the best chance by investing in it today is really what I get for the Aquarius rising. And major energetic blockages are going to be released in this next month for the Aquarius people because of this new energy hitting their physical body, their finances, their resources, their value systems. They're going to see a whole clearing happen on not just a physical level. I see a lot of these people are going to get out of debt, whether that's financial, physical, spiritual, karmic. There's going to be a big clearing for these Aquarius people. So again, live a life of integrity. The challenge is Jupiter in the fifth. That's why I've got it in red. Just understand for the Aquarius people, it's like, if you think too highly of yourself, you'll start to think that you're perfect. You'll start to get self-righteous. You'll start to be, and it's like you won't even get the support of other people because you come off as too arrogant. And that's not fun, you know? And this is that second house. I talked about this earlier in the reading for one of the signs, but this at best, this is self-reliance, but at worst, this is you being totally closed off from everybody else for whatever reason. So just watch out for that, Aquarius. Teamwork makes the dream work. You can't go at it alone, but at the end of the day, man, you have to be willing to do it by yourself too. And beyond willing, it's like do it. Do it by yourself, man. And the vibe will attract your tribe. If you're waiting, like if you're waiting for support to initiate your own dreams, you're suffering from what I call buddy buddy syndrome. And it's great to have friends, but man, at the end of the day, dude, you're living this life for you. And Christian definitely touched on that. So, do you guys have any closing messages for I should say, the new moon in Pisces and the full moon in Virgo coming up? What are you guys thinking about? Because that's the full picture, that's the whole wheel. What do you guys like to say about this energy?
Use your mind to create the image of what you're trying to manifest. And then as the full moon in Virgo comes up, release your fears and worries about, like what you're trying to do.
That's
Keep it
beautiful.
short and sweet.
I love that. So you're saying picture it today over this cycle, and then in that full moon cycle, start to get clear about what fears we have that hold us back.
Yeah,
The ground, the
exactly.
body.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. Cool. What you thinking about, King?
Um, I would definitely say the word that's really coming to mind is balance when it comes to vision and action. Um, action without vision, you know, it's like
It's
you gotta,
delusion. It's
yeah,
confusion.
you gotta know where you're going. But also vision without action. So I would definitely say balance between these 2 weeks
Mhm.
is really coming as a closing message.
That's beautiful. So, what I love that you said that because what I really get from this new moon Pisces energy moving into the full moon Virgo is that it's very important that everybody listening to this message starts to incorporate daily spiritual practices into their life because it's not enough to create the dream. We have to maintain the dream. Okay. Devotion is a Pisces archetype. Devotion means every single day. It doesn't mean when I feel like it. It means every day, regardless if I feel like it. Who are you on your worst day? That's who you really are. Okay? I'm going to show you guys the cards I did. I didn't pull any cards for the whole zodiac because I wanted to just leave the reading for you guys at the very end. I mean, plus, astrology is really my main thing. I like to dip in, I don't want to say dabble because I'm a master of many things, but it kind of slows me down sometimes when I'm just speaking from the energies, but I'm going to show you the cards I have right now, okay? And we're going to round it off and end it off in this. So as always, if you guys enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you leave a comment. Where is this new moon hitting your chart? What kind of aspects are you experiencing? If you know any by chance, this new moon is square my Pluto. It's a very powerful one. So I'm excited. But anyway, make sure you guys do leave a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because there's going to be updates on the future lunations. All of Christian and Eva's offerings are listed down below, as well as mine. If you can book a personal reading, I will say, because my spots fill up pretty quickly. I have one spot left for private mentorship as of filming this video. We start on the 8th of March. If you're lucky, you might get it. If not, it's going to say sold out or the offering is going to be gone. But the link is in the bio. Anyway, we got the Two of Cups. So this is about connection. All right. And I said this earlier in the reading on the Virgo rising that everything is in relationship to everything. So it's important to remember that, especially in context of the universe, the Knight of Cups. Moving forward with an open heart, Empress. If you recognize love as the source of all things and move forward with that heart open, you can put yourself in the position to receive the best blessings that life has to offer. That's the Empress. That's how this conversation starts. I really only have 10 cards for you guys today as far as this cycle. So this all starts with having a vision. Like Christian was saying, we cannot be aimless. You have to be driven, okay? Driven, not a drifter. Big difference. 98% of the people in the world are just drifting from one place to another. They don't even know if they're coming or going. Don't be like these people. If you're listening to this video still, I'm telling you, you're awake. You're not asleep at the wheel. You're driving the boat. So stay true to your vision. Eva said this too. Have a vision for where you want your life to be. And also understand failure is part of the process. We got the Five of Swords. You're not guaranteed to succeed. The best loser wins. Fail faster, fail better. Okay. And then we got the Ace of Swords, which says when you go through adversity, just learn and then you'll continue to succeed. You know, it's like a lot of people have dreams so big they scare themselves. They just don't even want to hold the dream. And that comes into that conversation we had earlier. Why are people losing in their own fantasies? Because they assume that the life that they desire is too much for them to handle or they don't deserve it. You have to believe inside of your soul that you absolutely deserve the life that you need, that you want, that you desire, that you feel is destined for you, okay? So that's really important. I want to reiterate Pisces is about the spirit of belief. Don't invest belief into something that doesn't empower you. We went through the whole zodiac. I just want to recap, guys. Like it's 12 whole signs, and it's going to hit everybody a little different depending on what planets you have in Pisces, where your Jupiter is, where your moon is, etc. But really, this lunation cycle, and I want to go even beyond the month, this year. Now, if we were to look at this as just a moment in time and space, this is about creating your dream life. Doesn't matter where it hit in your chart. That's what this is about. but the house is going to show you how to actually use this based on the lunation cycle. Create your dream life, okay? And I see also, because that's the first six, we got the Seven of Cups, which says that you're going to have to remember that there's many options and not every one of them is going to be beneficial. You may want to take options off the table to make your decision making a little bit easier. Okay. This also says that in context of defeat, you just have to keep pushing forward. The Chariot. That's Cancer energy ruled by the moon. If you don't give up, you're still not guaranteed to succeed, but I promise, you're not going to win if you give up. It sounds so redundant, but that's really the conversation. It's like if you sat through this whole video, I'm almost certain you're fired up and you're jazzed and you're ready to create the life of your dreams. So I want you to comment if you haven't yet. In your comment, I'm so ready to live the life of my dreams. And even beyond that, you can let us know what house is the moon hitting for you and what are you manifesting? What are you releasing with the full moon? We got the Five of Wands also, which says, adversity will build character. You're going to need to remember this love as you go through disagreements with other people. Not everybody's going to like your vision. Not everybody's going to like it. And just understand, remember, if you're having an experience where you're watching this video and you're aware that you're aware right now, just understand not everybody's on the same level of consciousness as you are. And I'm not trying to say that in a diminutive way, like one is better than the other, but frankly, one is more powerful than the other. So I just say this to say, sometimes when you're a bright light in this world, you start to attract darkness. You start to attract the negativity of the people that feel like a victim of their own life, but they chose to be here. So don't take it personally when other people try to oppose you. Here's the secret. Nobody doing better than you is going to hate you. Just think about that. Last card, 10th card, because it's really like a 3x3. So this is the 10th card, which is really funny to me. Last card, I want to reiterate, all the tarot cards are based on Kabbalistic astrology. Very cool. So when you pull and I teach this in Simplified Tarot, so you're going to want to make sure you grab a spot in that program, link down below. The major paths are based off of, I'm sorry, the major arcana is based off the Kabbalistic paths on the tree. And the minor cards are based on the decans of the zodiac. So the card is actually Jupiter Gemini energy, which is really funny. And if you don't believe me, just Google tarot card decans, D-E-C-A-N-S, decans. The Eight of Swords is the final card, which is too funny to me because it's Jupiter Gemini energy, the one planet squared up with the new moon. And this picture is worth 1,000 words. Some call this the interference card. So the question is, what interference do you need to remove from your life? The message from Jupiter Gemini is focus and don't get distracted. It's about open your mind, but don't get distracted. The only way to not be distracted is to actually determine what your real goals are. Okay? Because you know what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. One man's distraction is another man's pleasure. Something to think about. Hey, Fire Family, it's been real. We love you. We appreciate you watching this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure you grab a link down below because there's many of them. Join our community. Be part of the movement. Stay inspired. Create your dream life and then share your results with other people because success leaves proof. The great work never ends. Enjoy it. Put a smile on your face. Blessed be.